What's up, everyone? This is Trenton. I'm here with Eric, otherwise known as Juffles, for our WrestleMania Raw and SmackDown review. It is April 14th, 2019. We started a little bit earlier than we normally do since there's a lot of
There's a lot of
news.
shit to go over.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit to go over. News, fallout from WrestleMania. WrestleMania itself, of course, it was 7 hours long, including the pre-shows.
So guys, get ready for a 7-hour review of SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that one review we did was 4 hours. Well, it wasn't a review, but I mean, it was like a quasi review. You remember that? It was 4 hours.
Yeah, it would definitely was a little bit long. But let's just jump right into WrestleMania because we got a lot to cover here.
The show of all shows, dude. The grandest stage of them all.
The granddaddy. Oh wait, you're not allowed to say that anymore.
Granddaddy?
Remember they used to call the granddaddy of them all?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say that anymore because Vince McMahon says it makes it sound old.
Well, they call it 35. They have 35 at the end of it.
Well, no. If you look at the actual promotional material, they don't put the number anymore.
I'm pretty sure they do.
No, they don't.
I think
Look at the logo for WrestleMania. Look at the logo for WrestleMania. It's not going to say 35.
I get that, but I'm on my Twitter right now with all the retweets that keep me in line, I guess, when I do reviews and stuff. Mm-hmm. And WWE UK Twitter tweeted out WrestleMania 35 starts now. I guess I guess England didn't get the memo or anything.
Yeah, right. All right. So yeah, let's just jump into it. We'll talk about what did you think of the actual setup for WrestleMania before we actually get into what did you think of the stage, just the whole aesthetic?
Well, a lot of people thought the stage was underwhelming, and I guess I get that. I can understand that because it was just kind of a big screen, But it doesn't really make that much of a difference. You know what I thought it looked like?
What's that?
It looked like Wrestle Kingdom. That's what it looked like. The whole stage setup.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch NJPW, so
yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of I don't know. I want me. I like stages being real detailed and actually cool. Like the last 2 or 3 or whatever have been really cool. But you know what? It's just a stage. You know what I mean?
What's been your favorite stage of the last 5 years? Because you have a couple good ones. You have the Orlando one with the roller coaster. Yeah. You have the big Mardi Gras masquerade mask from last year.
Yeah.
32 I think was just pretty kind of meh.
Yeah.
31 was pretty cool, but I don't know. I'm gonna say 33 was mine with the big roller coaster.
Yeah, I think that one was awesome. I mean, I really like.
Also, I'm a little bit biased. I'm a little bit biased too because I live in Orlando, so.
Yeah, well, I really liked last year's too, even though.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
It was just a giant Mardi Gras mask. Well, yeah. I mean, at least that's what I see it as. I don't know if it's like anything else.
It is. Yeah, it's a giant Mardi Gras mask with the words WrestleMania on it.
In New Orleans, it's always Mardi Gras, right? But
yeah, I mean, next year it's going to be in Tampa. It's going to be pirate themed.
Yeah, and that's if they don't. I know that I've been reading this everywhere, but they will be missing a huge opportunity to have a specialized entrance with Kairi Sane if they don't have her do something with that pirate ship.
Yeah,
and you know what? We'll get into Kairi and people later on because. It all matters. There's a lot of news, so we'll just kind of briefly, quote unquote, because it's never brief, go over the pre-show and shit. Because there was stuff that was mattered, I guess.
Yeah, like the cruiserweight title match.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese for the cruiserweight championship. My prediction was Buddy Murphy retaining because
as was mine.
I just thought, well, Buddy Murphy, he's. I don't know. I just thought he was going to retain. I just had that was just my prediction.
I just also felt like Tony Nese was kind of underwhelming.
Think so?
It's just as a challenger. I don't know.
I like Tony Nese. I think a lot of people. I mean, I guess I can kind of see where people say he comes off as a little bland, but you know what? I can look past that. He's a good.
I know our friend Don can't stand him.
Yeah, he's real. I think he's real good though. honestly. I think he's pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, I mean, I think he's a very, very good wrestler. I just, you know me, I'm a very character heavy person.
Yeah.
And,
Well, Buddy Murphy really didn't have
he
that
just
much of
doesn't
a
do it for the
character.
character. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, none of the cruiserweights really do.
You know what? Now that I think about it, you're actually right. Did you see that?
Like,
I know you don't watch 205 Live, but did you see that Oni Lorcan is on 205 Live now? He's a character.
no, I didn't. Yeah, I mean, like, think of like who do you think that has the best character, or like is the most unique on 205 Live? I think, and I'm gonna say Jack Gallagher.
I'd have to think about that, to be honest. Drew Gulak, probably. Drew
Yeah,
Gulak.
and I think a lot of the things with Drew Gulak though is that they've wasted, like, they've not, I won't say wasted him, but like the ship had sailed on his like big moment,
Chance. Well, see, the
Yeah,
thing is,
like
he probably was like, listen, when that story he was doing with Enzo, trying to be a part of Enzo's clique and everything, but he didn't want to betray his friend. I think it was Tony Nese, actually. I thought that story was great.
yeah.
I actually thought it was done very well, like as a pure like story aspect. I thought it was done really well, and people
Didn't Enzo like call Tony Nese like Tony Macaroni or something like that?
Tony what?
He called him like Tony Macaroni or something like that.
I can't remember. He called Drew Gulak Gabba Gulak all the time. I know that.
Gab Gulak.
Well, yeah. Well, spoiler alert: Tony Nese won the cruiserweight title against Buddy Murphy, and I thought this match was good. I don't know if you
it was good.
did you watch all of everything like I did.
I did, yes.
Okay. Well, I thought this match was fun. I had no problem with this, and good for Tony that he won the title, and he actually, I think he got a little bit of a pop, I guess, if I recall correctly.
Well, he's from New York.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right. They always got to have them win in their hometown. That's not true at all, because that's not always the case.
No. I mean, it was for tonight.
Yeah.
It was for tonight.
That's true.
Or WrestleMania. Because, I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this review, you've probably already watched WrestleMania, so you know. But, the Raw title matches, both of them are from New York or New Jersey.
Right.
Ryder and Hawkins. It's Carmella. I mean, I know she's not from New York, but she's billed from Staten Island.
Yeah. She's from the state.
No, she's from Ohio.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn, there's a lot of people from Ohio. Ohio was a breeding ground for a lot of talent, even though I feel like Ohio...
Probably because of OVW.
I feel like a lot of... well, I mean, how many of them came from OVW?
Probably not a lot, though. I mean, Dolph Ziggler.
Did Dolph Ziggler come from OVW? I guess he did.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I think he did, yeah. Who was the last biggest star to come from OVW?
Oof.
Going through all of them, there was Shelton Benjamin, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista. Only he wasn't Batista, he was the Leviathan, but... Remember when
Did you know that Mark Jindrak was supposed to be the Batista in Evolution?
Really?
Yeah, they actually shot an entrance video with Mark Jindrak in it, and it was never used.
Interesting. Remember when Batista was called up as the fucking... The dude with the collection tray around his neck with Devon?
Deacon Batista?
Deacon Batista, yeah. I'm so glad that didn't pan out,
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, Tony Nese won. Congrats to him. I got no problems with Tony Nese. I know Don does, but it's just an opinion. It's it's no big deal. You like who you like, I guess.
Yeah.
Up next, though, I kind of did get a tad irritated with this match. The second annual WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal.
Yes, I got a little bit triggered with this match too.
They have a lot of, if they actually build this match up, they have a lot of potential to actually make people care about it and create, not create new stars per se, but try to build people to a higher, spot. So some of the people in this match, there's a lot of jobbers in it, of course, but I wouldn't say everyone is just flat out jobber. Ember Moon returned in this match, which is good to see that she's back.
I mean, it was good to see her back, but I felt like that they could have had a bigger return set for her.
They could have had a bigger return set for a lot of people, but we'll get into that because you know what? I kind of want to go into that on Raw and SmackDown about returns and shit. Some other people that were in this, Kairi Sane from NXT, of course, was in this. Candice LeRae from NXT. So I thought it would be cool to see one of those two win. You know, actually, like, I don't know if they want to call. I mean, Candice LeRae probably shouldn't be getting called up now since there's really nobody else left for Shayna Baszler to face in NXT. And no, I do not look at the spoilers. So if she's facing somebody from the new tapings, I don't fucking know. So
Jesse,
I love Jesse. I love Jesse. If you're listening to this, I love you.
Jesse's probably gonna. I mean, I hate to say this, but she's probably gonna be part of that job squad.
I hope not. I don't know. Every time I see a post from Jesse, I get heart eyes. You know that GIF of Bugs Bunny with the heart eyes. Yeah, that's what happens. And not being creepy though, of course. But
not being creepy. Call me.
Well, it turns out the final three were Sonya Deville, Asuka, and Sarah Logan staring off at each other. And I thought, well, damn, you know what? To be quite honest with you, I don't mind who wins this because, I like Sonya a lot. Sarah Logan winning would actually be good for the Riot Squad because they could build Sarah up as like the big not big in terms of size, but like, you know how every like stable has the quote unquote
the enforcer.
Kind of like Big E's the biggest out of them all, Sarah Logan can kind of I don't want to be offensive. I don't mean big like in a mean way, you know what I mean? But
yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I think it's safe to say Sarah Logan is bigger than
both
B and Liv. Just her build, she works out a lot, and I thought, well, damn, I don't care who wins this, I'm actually fine with whoever wins this.
Yeah.
It's just who are the last two in this build up?
You meant like the last? It was Sarah Logan and.
Was it Sarah Logan and Asuka?
No, it wasn't Asuka. It was Sonya. I'm pretty sure it was Sonya.
All right, so it was Sonya and Sarah as the final two, and I was like, cool. They're finally gonna actually have somebody win this, and maybe they'll mean something. Sarah Logan eliminates Sonya. And sure enough, Sarah Logan's celebrating. The crowd's actually got a nice reaction for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And sure enough, in classic WWE fashion, it wasn't that, because it turns out Carmella was not eliminated. She did the whole fucking thing where they're not eliminated, so they just hide outside and crawl through the bottom rope at the very end.
Do you know that's actually the second year in a row that they've done that?
Yes!
It happened with Naomi last year.
I was gonna say, because, like, how lazy is that? And it was Carmella. No disrespect to Carmella, but you actually have a chance to build up the Riot Squad after you've jobbed them constantly for months and months and months and months. But they give this win.
Job them constantly to Sasha Bailey and a random third partner.
Yeah. They give this win to Carmella, who does not need it. What are they gonna do with Carmella off of this? So, of course, Carmella wins. She actually got a good reaction, in all fairness. You know what? Good for Carmella, but I'm just saying, it would have been way better if a person like Sonya or Sarah won it. And don't even get me started on Asuka being in this match. Just the fact that she's in this match was kind of ridiculous. Just the fact that SmackDown in general got hosed on WrestleMania, Yeah, we'll just toss you in Battle Royal. Sorry, we got nothing for you. We had to put the title on Charlotte again. Unnecessarily, might I add. So, yeah, Carmella won. She wins the Fallopian Tube Battle Royal. And why do they have that trophy?
I don't know. See, the thing is like they couldn't just rename it to like the Alundra Blaze Battle Royal or something like that.
Or like, I don't know if you actually went back and watched the Hall of Fame, but during DX's induction, X-Pac said that they should give the title for that Battle Royal to China.
That's never happening.
Well, I mean, they mentioned China a lot during that and inducted into the Hall of Fame, you know?
Yeah, but
at the same time, I read somebody say, and I kind of agree with this, you know, like, why don't you actually just induct China into the Hall of Fame instead of giving her giving her name to some jobber Battle Royal? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with that, to be honest. But you know what? We'll see. Like, it's yet to be determined if they're gonna fucking induct a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that deserve it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
like Bruiser Brody.
Yeah, Bruiser Brody was inducted in the Legacy wing, and I was like, damn, Bruiser Brody's good enough to be in the actual Hall of Fame, you know? But, you know, it is what it is. There's a lot of people like that, so whatever. Up next, we had the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder versus The Revival, which was added, like, on Thursday before the show. So, remember that big conversation we had last week during Raw, the Raw review?
Yep.
Where we were fucking going crazy about Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder potentially being added. Well, they were added, and spoiler alert, sure as shit, Hawkins and Ryder won the tag titles against the Revival at WrestleMania. Kurt Hawkins, fresh off a 250-plus loss streak. What did he do? He rolled up. What was it? I think it was a small package.
I don't even know.
Kurt Hawkins.
All I know is Hawkins got the win. Yeah,
they did that right. And you were texting me. You were like, "Haha, get triggered," and I was like, "I'm not triggered." I was totally, completely for Hawkins and Ryder winning the titles. I just wish they would have actually had a story around it, because who the fuck cares about the pre? You know, they've already conditioned us to not care about Revival in the first place, and they've already kind of conditioned us to not care about a dude who's lost 250 plus times, right? There's no story.
See, there should have been more story to this.
Mm-hmm.
Way more story.
Yeah, they missed a great opportunity, like kind of like the B team. They missed a great opportunity there. So, you know, we'll see what happens with the Raw Tag Team titles. Yeah, I'm happy for Hawkins and Ryder. I just wish the tag team division wasn't so all over the place. You know, like, there's a lot of talented people on this roster. You don't have to reinvent the wheel and, you know, swerve us and everything just to whatever. And you don't have
for the sake of swerving.
Yeah, you don't have swerve for the sake of a swerve. Kind of like the entire Becky and Charlotte storyline, and Ronda, of course. Up next, we got the men's jobber battle royal match, and the fact that Andre the Giant's name is affiliated with this makes me sick. Of course, this was the match with the two SNL jerk-offs that had no place being in this match. I don't know why they were putting this.
What did you think about Colin Jost wearing a Odell Beckham Cleveland Browns jersey? I thought that was pretty funny, though.
I mean, at least he's committed to trying to get heat. You know what I mean? But what do you think? Why? Give me an explanation, like your honest to God explanation of why these two goofballs were in this match.
Because Vince McMahon still thinks that Saturday Night Live is actually relevant, and although you would think that Vince McMahon wouldn't like Saturday Night Live because they always make fun of his buddy. So
yeah, exactly. Well, you could probably. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to guess this probably wasn't Vince's doing. He was just like, well, fuck it, whatever. You know. That's my best Vince impression, you know. Well,
honestly, I would not be so like, oh my god, why is this happening? If it wasn't like the main storyline going into this match, and then also if it wasn't like they didn't force like the talent on the roster to go, oh, I think the Weekend Update's so funny, like.
Yeah, like it's not.
Yeah.
Weekend Update and shit has not been funny since Norm Macdonald got fired. I mean that. But you watch Norm Macdonald on that. I know you don't like Norm Macdonald that much, but if you watch him on Weekend Update, his shit was funny. But who was the most memorable Weekend Update guy outside of him? Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers, yeah.
And that's a stretch in my opinion, because I don't really think he's that funny anyways. You know? But SNL as a whole really isn't funny. I mean, comedy is subjective, of course, but I don't know. The fact that these two goofballs were in this match, that was supposed to be taken seriously, you know. Well, who were in this match? Tyler Breeze, EC3, the B Team, Shelton, Bo Dallas,
Andrade.
Oh wait, I already said B Team, didn't I? Braun Strowman, of course, Andrade, who, funnily enough, eliminated himself with a Hurricane Rana. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He eliminated himself with an awesome Hurricane Rana from the apron out to the floor. And did you see his reaction was like, "Oh, what did I do, Holmes?" Or whatever, whatever the fuck he said, you know?
He was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. Oh, I thought this was cool. That Luke Harper returned in this match, and well, actually, technically, Luke Harper returned at the Worlds Collide tournament that they do at Access, which is actually airing right now as we speak on the network.
No, look at that.
He faced Dominic Dijakovic, and I'm actually really excited to see that match because, like I said before, I'm a big fan of him. And
well, you want to talk about Dominic Dijakovic?
I mean, I guess he had a. I guess the gimmick they were trying to go for was that Dominic Dijakovic is a white nationalist or something.
I don't know, but no. But then he was also like, he was saying how he wanted the North American Championship, and then he added Donald Trump, Justin Trudeau, and then the president of Mexico. Forgive me, I don't know his name.
He tagged him in a tweet talking about how filthy North America is and how
he needs to cleanse it.
He needs to cleanse it. It's toxic. Blah blah blah. Whatever. And he deleted the tweet 30 minutes later, disabled his entire account shortly thereafter. So you know what? Probably the smart move.
just saying.
I don't think you need to resort that far, you know. And
man, they. Oh my!
I don't know. What do you? I mean, you know, I don't know what to think of it because I don't know what he does now.
Shit, man.
I hope he doesn't get you know. Like I hope his push because he was getting a little bit of a push. He was one of those guys in NXT who was beating like enhancement talent and shit. And well, actually, that's not completely true because he was having a match with Keith Lee, and that match he had with Keith Lee was fucking awesome. That ended in a double countout, and they were set for a rematch, but they never did it for some reason. Oh yeah, because Keith Lee got injured, I think. So that's sad. That could have been a really good match, but unfortunate. So I don't know what happens with him now. So, oh, by the way, Eric, did you see Don's new profile picture for his? He's in the chat.
Oh no!
It's the picture of Drew Gulak looking all like pouty and shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen the picture before. I thought you were gonna say it's the picture of Batista from.
Oh.
That's what you know how your picture is Batista right now. You should change it to the other picture of Batista with him on the ground, getting his nose ring taken out.
He had a great reaction. Yeah. Well, oh yeah, this battle royal I totally forgot about. That a lot of people forgot about. So I can't believe it, but Braun Strowman won this match. The last three in the match were Michael Shea, Colin Jost, and Braun Strowman. And Braun Strowman.
There was a moment there where I thought Jost was going to win.
Are you serious?
Because when Braun was being pulled over the edge or whatever, or missed his kick, or he was trying to do something, he missed it, and he almost went over the edge, and I was like, oh fuck no, they're not actually going to do this.
Yeah. Well, they didn't do it, so
thank God.
Braun Strowman won. This does fucking nothing for him. Who cares? They should.
It's just another achievement for him to have. That's not a title.
It's just another title, and I don't mean titles as in championship title. I mean a title to have. You know what I mean? Over your head. Oh, he won the battle royal. It's well, who cares? Honestly, seriously, they neglected. If they could actually build it up, when Cesaro won it, that was a big deal. He was white hot when he won that battle royal.
And they cooled him off pretty quickly.
Yeah, they cooled it. And then they broke the trophy. Do you remember that?
Yep, the first year.
With Jack Swagger, they broke the fucking trophy. And it was an angle. It wasn't like it was an accident. Oh, whatever. So Braun Strowman won that. Who cares? And now the show finally starts. But instead of starting with a match, Alexa Bliss's music comes up, and she's all oh, well, as the host, I can make magical moments happen with the snap of a finger or something like that. And she snaps her finger, and Hulk Hogan's music hits. And I was like, okay, what's the point of this? And Hulk Hogan came out. He did his whole spiel, you know. Let me tell you something, brother. You know,
we're here at the Silverdome.
Yeah, good night, jabroni marks who don't know it's a work when you work a work and you work yourself into a shoot, marks.
Did you see that he tried to make fun of himself for fucking up and then he fucked up again?
I saw that I saw that he did the Silverdome routine, which I thought was funny.
Well, did you see what he did? Well, he goes, we're at the Silverdome, and then obviously because that's when. But then he goes, oh no, we're at the MetLife Arena.
He said MetLife. Well, Don said MetLife Center in the chat.
Oh, maybe he did. Okay, maybe maybe it was MetLife Center.
Either way, that ain't that big of a fuck up. It would have been bad if he called it like the Mott Life Center or something, you know.
He called it the Meadowlands.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people were split on this. People on Twitter were going crazy that Hulk Hogan showed up, of course. It kind of I can understand it. I mean,
well, and then Big E tweeted about it, and he was like, "Hey, he was like, oh, we sat down with Hulk Hogan and we let him know how we felt, and so I mean, I guess that's good."
Yeah, you know what? I mean, yeah, it's kind of it's a thorny issue, you know.
Do you think that they actually forgive him, or do you think that the company told them, you need to say it's okay that Hulk Hogan's here?
Oh no. Like, they would never tell New Day to just blindly go along with that. You know what I mean? Because New Day of all people are very serious about stuff like that. You know, I could very easily see them or you know what. We're going to have Daniel Bryan go over tonight if you don't make up with Hulk Hogan, you know?
Oh my God.
That would be retarded.
It really would be.
But Hulk Hogan came out. He's doing his spiel. The crowd's going mental because whenever Hulk Hogan's music hits, everybody goes mental. Did you see that video of a WrestleMania watch party at a bar or whatever? Of a sports bar, I guess, of in the Philippines?
Uh-huh.
Where they started chanting at the TV when Hulk Hogan's music hits that they were starting chanting "You're a racist" or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, "Damn!" I didn't even know the Philippines felt that strongly about it. You know, but I guess anybody can, you know. So, this was pointless, to be honest. I guess they just kind of wanted to have Hulk Hogan on the show for some reason, you know. I guess that's my reasoning. I have no idea why else they would put him on this, you know.
For what? You mean for Hulk Hogan?
Yeah. Why? What was the point of this? What was?
I have no idea.
Alexa was like, I can snap my fingers and make any moment happen. All I have to do is snap. So I guess she has the power of Thanos. You know, or okay, but so what if it was a moment? Huh?
Do you think Ant-Man's good?
You're cutting out a lot.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was on mute and I can't remember. I can't tell on my phone what mute what is mute and what's not mute. Oh. So sorry. But I was to say, are we going to get to see Ant-Man go up her butt?
Let's hope not. Yeah, but I guess this was just
this is in Alexa Bliss's contract.
Yeah, I guess this was just a moment to for the sake of a moment. That's my best. That's my best. Fucking. Oh shit! Your camera popped up for a second. I'm watching the feedback. Okay, that was just kind of out of nowhere.
Sorry.
Whatever. Right after Hulk Hogan was still out with his music, and then all of a sudden Paul Heyman walks through, and I'm like, "What the hell is Paul Heyman doing here?" And he walks through to Real American, which was kind of funny, to be honest. And
I am a Jewish American. Yeah.
So Paul Heyman comes out. He goes all the way down to the ring, and he says, if Brock Lesnar and his match is not last, we are going on first. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending undisputed Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, and his music hits, and Brock Lesnar comes out, and I'm like, holy shit! I was not expecting Brock and Seth to open the show. And from what I read, this was a last-second decision, as
really,
as like it was decided as Hulk Hogan was going out.
Wow, because I asked you, I remember asking you what match do you think is going to go on? You said, AJ versus Randy.
Mm-hmm.
But then like Paul Heyman comes out and like, ooh, that's not AJ versus Randy.
And we predicted on our last show before this, we said Brock is going to win hands down. Like, nobody's going to be surprised when Brock wins. And the second this started happening, I thought Seth's winning. He's going to win. Champion comes out first. It's unexpected that this match is starting first. Seth's going to win. You know, there's no way Brock is going to win now. And Seth Rollins comes out, but before the match starts, Brock Lesnar absolutely destroys Seth Rollins. His back had like scratches and marks on it from like being thrown around, thrown into the table, thrown on top of the table outside the ring. He got lawn darted to one of the German announcers.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, that German announcer is a trooper because he took Seth Rollins straight to the chest.
Yeah. He got F5'd outside the ring onto the floor. Yeah, Seth Rollins got beat up and down this fucking place. And they go back into the ring. Brock is like, start the match, and the ref just kind of finally starts it because he's afraid, I guess, of Brock destroying him.
I mean, I wouldn't tell Brock Lesnar no.
Yeah. Well, the big swerve here was on Raw, Seth Rollins stood tall on the go-home show by low-blowing Brock, hitting the curb stomp on him, holding the title. So I was like, well, he's definitely not winning now. But here, Brock Lesnar starts hitting. He hit like 3 German suplexes, and then Brock Lesnar got him up for the F5. Seth Rollins jumped down, pushed him into the ref. The ref goes outside the ring with his back turned, and Seth Rollins low blows Brock, which further incorporates that one of Brock's big weaknesses is his balls.
Yeah, because remember The Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly. Brian, what the fuck am I saying? I almost said Brian Danielson. Daniel Bryan hitting him in the nuts with the Survivor Series show. And didn't somebody else hit him? Dean Ambrose hit him in the nuts, I think, that one time. Remember that? When they were having their feud? Their very underwhelming feud, which actually had the potential to be exciting.
Well, I don't know. Did you ever see Dean Ambrose's interview about that feud?
Yeah, he said something like Brock didn't want to do anything. He wasn't very into it.
Yeah, he's like, Dean was like, oh, you can have all the stuff that you want to do, and you can be as creative as you want, but you can't like make the other person care.
Exactly. That's kind of what fucking WWE is in general anymore. And so yeah, he hits the low blow on Brock. Seth Rollins hits 3 curb stomps onto Brock Lesnar for good measure, and pins Brock Lesnar and wins the Universal Championship. And dude, when I say that I popped at this, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. That was legitimately the loudest I've popped for something in a long time.
You had a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, I legit jumped up. You can ask my dad. I probably blew out his eardrums. I was so excited that Seth won. Like, I could have ended the show there and I would have been fucking happy. It would have been a
one match show.
So the match itself was not long at all. The match itself was 5, 6, 7 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not even that, to be quite honest. But this
also, did you hear when? Was it just going back when Paul Heyman came out? He said, "We're going to go to Las Vegas, where we will be ultimately appreciated."
Yeah, yeah. Dude,
people were like, "Oh, does that mean Brock's going to be in AEW?" I'm like, "That's Ultimate Fighter, you idiot."
Who said that?
Someone was like, "Oh, because Double or Nothing's in Vegas."
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, and I'm like, "No, that's." He said, "Ultimately appreciated." You know what that means?
Yeah, it's because of UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Seth won. The reign of terror is over.
For now.
Seth is. I don't think they put it back on him. I think he's fucking done now, unless Seth gets injured.
I hope so. Oh no, if Seth gets injured, it's going on Roman.
Who gives a shit? As long as it doesn't go on Brock, I literally could not care less. I really don't. I don't care. I've said many times I wouldn't even care if it was Jinder that had the title as long as it wasn't Brock. At least Jinder is a wrestler that shows up.
Right.
So, yeah, Seth wins. He got a huge pop. This starting off the show awesome. It's really set the mood, you know. Damn, I was just so excited at that I was kind of he was kind of an underwhelming match in my opinion. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton was the next match. And the match was good, but it was kind of marred for people in the arena because the lights were shining in the crowd's face in certain spots.
Yeah.
So much so that the crowd started chanting, "Turn the light off," and "We can't see, we can't see." So, why the fuck did they have those lights on? Did you see pictures of this from people at the show?
I didn't, but I've heard a whole bunch about it.
It was ridiculous. Why the fuck would you have? Why would you have lights like that? Like, there's no point. The aesthetic of it, I suppose, but who cares? Can you imagine paying that much money just to be blinded the entire show? And it didn't stop the entire show, dude. Like, apparently, it was going on the whole time. I would be pissed if I spent a lot of money on WrestleMania tickets and couldn't even see. Damn.
Well, apparently that is something that happened at 33 as well.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, there were some bad lights because it was outdoors, and because I know it didn't happen last year because the Superdome's inside. So.
Yeah. Well, Randy Orton came out for his entrance, and the sperm did not come back on the giant.
Rip.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Randy Orton's sperm. Those are some words I never thought I'd be saying. So,
I mean, just ask all the reporters whose hands he shook.
Yeah, exactly. Or like backstage crew members. So I thought the match was fine. AJ Styles got hurt during this match apparently though when he did that. What move did he do? He hit the phenomenal forearm outside the ring. He leapt from inside the ring to outside the ring to hit this forearm, and apparently he injured his hip during this. So, or AJ Styles, one of the many people who've gotten injured, and AJ Styles won though this match, this match was really close though, like in terms of predictions and like the bookies and stuff and whatever. I really didn't know who was going to win this. I predicted AJ just barely, though. I was really close. So AJ won.
I had said Randy, but that's only because I felt like Randy could have I felt Randy needed to win more. Like, I know it's Randy Orton. He doesn't really need wins. But like, I don't know. I just felt like AJ could take the loss. And I think Randy needed to be the,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like Randy hasn't gotten any big wins lately.
Well, neither has AJ to be fair. And especially, what did they do? Why did they drop that Vince story? I don't know. What was that supposed to be?
I don't know. It
was kind of like the Alexa Bliss.
I think they just didn't want like Vince.
Go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, what if it was just to create a buzz? Oh. Like the Alexa Bliss topless segment was literally just to create a buzz. Nothing was built around it. Nothing was built before it to lead up to it. It was just to create a buzz. So what if it was like that, Or maybe they just, plans change in the famous words of Dave Meltzer, Well,
I think...
Yep. Mm-hmm, yep, that's right. Mm-hmm, yep. Yep.
I think I think probably the Kofi thing. The Kofi thing probably took Vince away from that storyline. So.
Well, in all fairness, the Kofi thing didn't start until February. The Vince thing started in December.
Yeah. I don't know.
The Kofi thing didn't get going until Mustafa Ali got injured, and then he just took his place. So, man, this could have been Mustafa, dude, instead of Kofi. Yeah. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
What would have happened then? Daniel Bryan probably would have retained. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, AJ won. Up next was the SmackDown Tag Team title match. Aleister Black and Ricochet versus Rusev and Nakamura versus The Bar versus the Usos, the champions, the Usos. And I thought this match was fun. I damn near NXT Takeover. Ricochet was people were scared that Ricochet. Oh yeah, sorry. By the way, I forgot a Lacey Evans walk in. You know how they're running. She does walk-ins. So
well, that and the fact that like she couldn't make it into that battle royal.
Dude, I was so when I saw that she wasn't even in that match, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? She couldn't even make it in this." I mean, God forbid she actually does something before she's just tossed in the title picture. But we'll get to that, of course. So, I thought this match was fun, but at NXT Takeover, Ricochet was being looked at as if he was injured after after Ricochet and Black's match versus the War Raiders for the NXT Tag Titles, and there were reports that he was good to go, but he was kind of hurting a little bit. But I'm glad to see that's not the case because Ricochet does a lot of shit that could easily just destroy him if one slip up happens.
Yeah,
exactly. If he doesn't rotate all the way around, I'm going.
Like I said, I think I said this last week. Ricochet has the chance to be like a gigantic star in WWE. I mean, I'm a gigantic star already, but like he could be. I could see him being like the next Mysterio or like kind of guy, just with how great his offense is.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Well, in my opinion, nobody can be the next Rey Mysterio.
No, yeah.
Especially since, Ricochet could believably go up against literally anyone. Like he's not just a dude that does flippy shit. You know what I mean? He is strong as hell. I don't know if you watched his NXT stuff at all, but there are some moments in NXT matches that he had where I was like, damn, he is strong. Like,
yeah,
he is really like good all around.
Well, we're gonna have another moment later in the show where I'm gonna be like, "Holy shit!" Like that person is really strong.
Yeah,
but
the Usos retained. I thought Ricochet and Black were winning the titles, to be honest, because while the Usos came out first in the entrances, the champions come out first. One of my biggest pet peeves. And normally I notice that not all the time, but sometimes when the champions come out first, it means they're losing the titles.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to think. I just thought, well, maybe Ricochet and Black will win then. Maybe they'll win the titles. But no, the Usos won. They pinned your girlfriend's favorite, Sheamus.
Yes.
Rip in peace.
She cried after that. So
yeah, they hit the double splashes from either corner, and I thought the match was fine. It was okay. I didn't think anything bad about it.
I think I saw that the wrong Uso got the pin though.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Huh. I think somebody put it on Twitter that whichever one was legal didn't pin them.
It's a conspiracy.
Right.
It's a conspiracy.
You know what? I'm glad they don't do that shit that the Usos that they always used to do with the Bashams and the Bellas, where they're like, "Ooh, twin magic."
Yeah, well, they couldn't anymore with the Bellas because one of them got fake tits. And easily could.
Well, don't the Usos have different tattoos and shit too? So.
Probably. Yeah, but I mean they're similar, but they're probably different. Yeah. Up next though, they had all the Hall of Famers come out like they do every year. That was kind of cool. Thankfully, nobody stormed Bret Hart this time around when he was up on the stage.
Jesus.
Yeah, the dude. Nobody knows. Somebody at the Hall of Fame stormed Bret Hart during the Hall of Fame of the induction of the Hart Foundation.
Did you see the punch that fucking Dash Wilder put on him?
Yes, I did. People took video of it happening, and first of all, the first person to lay down punches and shit was Travis Brown, which is Ronda Rousey's husband, and he got in that ring fucking quick when this stage crasher hit the ring. Travis Brown was in there immediately. and he was pummeling this poor guy. I say poor, but you know what I mean. He's not poor. He's a dickhead, but he's pummeling this dude, and even Davey Boy Smith Jr., who you might remember as D.H. Smith. You know.
Yeah.
You remember him?
David Hart Smith.
He was pummeling him. David Boy Smith Jr. was pummeling him. They finally got him out of the ring. Dash Wilder was like holding him up with like by the arm or whatever, and landed like a super uppercut to this dude, which like knocked him to the ground. He like kind of knocked him out, I guess.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, damn, they're retaining now. Revival's retaining just because of this. Dash Wilder's going to get a push, but no, of course not. So that was, you know what, Hall of Famer. That was their first time trying that new stage where it's a ring, you know?
Yeah.
And it'll definitely be the last after that. And I actually kind of like the setup, you know? It's like in a ring. They're the center of attention, but it's way easier to like rush the stage with that kind of setup. So do
we even know like what that guy's reasoning was at all? Like,
he's an attention seeker, probably. Did you see his Twitter?
No. They found his Twitter?
Turns out he was like an MMA fighter.
Uh-huh.
Kind of an amateur one, I guess.
Uh-huh.
He like got choked out in his last fight, which people were using to like make fun of him, I guess. Even though he has like a positive record. He was like 2-1 or some shit.
Yeah.
But if you read some of his tweets, he was like tweeting at WWE, at Vince, at Triple H, like all the time about like, I can't even remember like some of the shit that he said. Some of it was ridiculous, like a crazy dude, like just was
it like negative stuff, or was he looking
kind of? Yeah, it was like a crazed fan type of guy. You know what I mean? You know how you always see those people on Twitter always replying to some person's tweets, like always. Yeah. This was kind of like
the Krasenstein brothers with Donald Trump.
Yeah, kind of like that. only he wasn't replying to anything. I guess he was just adding them all the time about having. I can't even remember. He was like weird, you know. But So after that, it's Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match, which was also close in my opinion.
This match was really good, actually.
Well, I don't know if it was really good, but I thought it was enjoyable. Yeah, I love a good Falls Count Anywhere match. They actually went in the crowd and did shit though.
Yeah.
And people I saw were very split on this match. Like people
really, I thought it was very good.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
It kept my attention. It entertained me.
Mrs. Father was there, and it spawned memes because Mrs. Father got in the ring to fight Shane McMahon, and he put his fists up. And Shane McMahon, I'm supposed to believe that Shane McMahon is going to teach a dude how to fight. That is fucking comedy, right? Do you remember that when he positioned Mrs. Father's hands like in the correct order? So
that was funny, though.
Shane, of all people, is going to teach people how to fight properly. Okay.
Well, I mean, think about it, though, because remember when Shane was fighting The Undertaker, he had that he did the training with the MMA guys and all that kind of stuff, so
nobody taught him how to throw a decent punch?
No.
That was peculiarly silent. Well, yeah, this match was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was enjoyable, and of course, the Miz's father spawned lots of memes. Like Miz's father was Photoshop Undertaker. They go brawling into the crowd. Miz is hitting him with a chair. They go out to like this railing area where there's like a dip in the crowd where there's like a little area below.
I mean, and you could tell obviously this was meant to be for, you know, a spot.
Yeah, and Miz hits Shane. What did he even hit him with? It wasn't a chair, I don't think.
I got to mute for a second, but I'll be right back.
Well, Miz hit Shane over this railing. Shane goes flying over the railing, and there's like a golf cart right where he's landing. So he lands on top of the golf cart and takes a big bump and lands on the ground after that, which I thought was kind of cool. You know, that was fun. Miz does not get the win off of that. So Shane McMahon was like literally John Cena 2.0 in this match. Shane Cena, I suppose. Miz Cena. There's a lot of Cenas this weekend. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole at NXT TakeOver. Johnny Cena is his new name, in my opinion, after winning the NXT title. So yeah, this all culminates in the big spot of the match. So they both climb up this big like camera platform, is what people call it. I don't even know. Like, obviously this was set up. Like, well, obviously it was set up, but no camera platform like this would have no railing on one of the sides. You know, like that's a big health hazard. Yeah. This was just for the fact of the spot, of course. You know,
it's really funny though because the camera guy looked like he had no idea what was happening.
I know,
even though you could tell, you know.
Yeah, there was no way there'd be a camera platform with no railings on one of them that high up. So you know they were gonna go flying off of this. You could see this giant like wood. What do you even call it? Is it wood? It's like a crash pad, but it's like.
Well, before that, Shane takes a skull-crushing finale right on like a metal plate.
Yeah, and he kicked out of that.
It's not like the Miz even like waited to pin him. Like he went right for the cover, and then after that point, I'm like, well, there's no way Shane's losing.
So like, all right, I want to get your thoughts on what the finish, how the finish was. Okay, so they're up on this camera platform, and obviously there's like a giant crash pad type thing, and Miz takes Shane, superplexes him off this giant platform through the crash pad stage. They say they crashed through the stage, so you know whatever. That's what they did.
Yeah.
So they both go crazy and go through the thing, and so they're both out. They're both knocked out, seemingly. So the ref looks. They're showing replays, and when the camera comes back to them, Shane somehow is on top of Miz, and the ref counts because Shane is covering Miz, right? His lifeless body is covering Miz, and Shane McMahon wins off of that. So. I thought the finish was great in my opinion, but at the same
I liked it.
At the same time, I can kind of see what people are saying how Miz is an idiot because he hit the move, but he got pinned.
Well, I mean, you could say yeah, Miz is an idiot, but I would say more likely I would say Miz was so like worked up that he just completely he forgot about the match. He just wanted to beat the shit out of Shane.
Well, I don't think he forgot about the match. He was trying to pin him throughout the whole time, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, he was just trying to inflict pain on him.
Yeah,
too,
but my one question is, how did Shane get on top of Miz? Because if you hit a superplex and you stay the way you land, right? You are on your back. You don't move at all after you hit a superplex.
Well, I mean,
would he be on top of you or would you be on top of him? Like,
it depends on how you do it. I mean, I guess in theory you would be on top. The person who is doing the superplexing would be on top of the person who is being hit. But I mean, I'm just gonna say like, hey, I'm not gonna split hairs on that.
Okay, because in the midst of the carnage, all we know is that Shane got the pin. Shane wins not by his own doing, but by Miz's recklessness.
Yeah.
So I thought this match was fine. I enjoyed it for what it was. For what it was worth, I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Just a crazy finish. They had to do something.
Yeah.
So what I thought was going to happen. I thought he was going to climb that huge ass pole out in the crowd. Like part of the stage setup, and he was going to like climb it, like kind of like he did at that What show was that? Was it Survivor Series or what was it? It was some show where he climbed that big ass.
Oh, you meant against Big Show?
Was it Big Show?
And Shane versus Big Show.
I can't remember.
Where Test came out and helped Shane win.
Yeah. What about the one where Steve Blackman hit the kendo stick? Took the kendo stick.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something like that, but no, they went over to the camera platform. So. Up next, Paige is on commentary for this match. And honest to God, I can't take Paige seriously on commentary. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that? Because sometimes her calls on this match were, and I'm not claiming to be better or anything, but just like just as a dude observing, some of the comments she made were like, I don't even know what she said, but some part of me remembers vaguely one of her lines being like, by the way, this is the women's tag team title match. It's Bayley and Sasha versus Beth and Natalya versus the Iconic Duo versus Nia and Tamina. And one of the lines was like, she doesn't need to. I can't even remember who she was talking about, but she was like, she doesn't need to do so and so. She got this or something like that. Kind of like, you go, girl, or whatever. That's what it sounded like. I can't even remember what it was. But stuff like that, I was like, why? I guess they just, and this was a theme throughout the night. They put random people on guest commentary, like Jerry Lawler was on commentary for one of the matches. Booker T was on commentary. JBL.
By the way, when Booker T was on commentary for the Joe versus Mysterio match, which was hilarious.
I didn't even listen to it. I was too busy, wondering what the hell just happened with that match,
Well, I mean, think about it though. Think about like your Booker T, and you're like, oh yeah, I get to go to do commentary for this match, and then all of a sudden,
it's 40 seconds long.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're like, okay, if we have to put Booker on commentary, we'll put him in the 40-second match.
I remember you used to go off on Booker.
Dude, how could I not? Booker T on Raw commentary was terrible. But you know what? To be honest, Raw commentary at the moment is not much better. In fact, I'd say it's worse right now. Not even lying. I'm not even lying when I say that. Booker T commentary when he was on was better than it is right now. So I know you don't even watch Raw all the time, but and we'll get to that. You didn't even watch Raw and SmackDown this week, but we'll go further into
future circumstances. Unfortunately,
we'll go into that. But my predictions going into this match were Bayley and Sasha retaining. You said
Bayley and Sasha retaining.
You predicted that, and you said there is not a chance in hell that Nia and Tamina retain
or win.
And I was like, well, what if he just jinxed it? So, it turns out Nia's been injured this whole time. So I don't know what happened during this match. I don't know if she was working injured or she got. Obviously, she has 2 ACL injuries. I don't think she tore both her ACLs during this match, so she was probably working injured. But if that's true, man, how do you work with a torn ACL? Because
if that's true, she's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's true. Kudos to her, because if you work with a torn ACL, let alone 2, like, damn, But I don't know if she got injured during this match to injure another one of her ACLs, but I distinctly remember towards the end of the match, the finish, Nia hit the ground, outside the ring. She kind of went rolling a little bit, and I was like, damn, she went rolling far. And she was not to be seen for the rest of the match or whatever. And you thought during this that Nia had injured Billie Kay, but she didn't, I guess.
Oh my God! Yeah, there was. I think this might have been Billie Kay's fault. I mean, I'm not going to blame Nia on this one.
Okay.
I think it's Billie Kay's fault, but because you know how Nia and Tamina both did the Samoan drops on Billie Kay and Peyton Royce.
Yeah, the double. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Nia did hers, Billie Kay put her leg out, and her leg got caught up underneath her own body or Nia's body, somebody's body, and I thought that her leg snapped. It looked bad.
I didn't even see it. You know what's funny? When I saw that, I thought it looked a little off kilter, but I didn't think anything of it because I was like, it was just kind of whatever. It was just kind of a messy Samoan drop. It happens, right? I didn't think anything of it. But then you said that Billie apparently got injured. Is what what you thought you saw, but I guess Billie was okay because
yeah, it looked bad. I have to go back and watch it, but it looked like one of those moments where somebody's leg or ankle rolls up underneath them,
right?
And then what happens after that. So
right. So the finish of this match I actually thought wasn't terrible. Beth Phoenix is up, of course, with the stupid more than 2-team tag matches. It's just 2 people in the ring, so anybody can tag anybody, no matter what. So the finish is Beth Phoenix has got Bayley up for a glam slam on the up top on the
second rope.
On the second turnbuckle. Yeah. So right before Beth Phoenix hits this move, Billie Kay tags Beth. I guess Beth doesn't even feel it because it's heat of the moment, whatever. So she tags Beth, and Beth hits this glam slam. She goes for the pin, but they throw Beth out. Billie gets the pin on Bayley, and the iconic duo are the new tag team champions. And what ensued from that was a whole lot of drama. Which all right. First of all, I have to say, let's get this out of the way. I shit on Nia a lot, but no matter how much I shit on somebody, I've probably said this before, but I never want to see anybody get hurt. I hope Nia gets well fast. She's got to have surgery on both of her ACL injuries.
Yeah, and that sucks because then she can't even walk on one of her legs.
Yeah, she's going to be out for 9 months to a year. So
yeah,
she's going to be out for a long time. So I hope she gets well soon or fast.
Honestly,
I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I might not like Nia at all, but I don't give it. I don't care. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. So, second of all, so I got some problems with this. All right, so. First of all, when I caught into a 1, I was more just surprised, I wasn't disappointed, angry, irritated, mad, or what the heck was that? I was just surprised, right? And watching it live, I was just like, oh, I didn't expect that, I caught into a 1. Mm-hmm. But the more I thought about it, why would you put the titles on jobbers? With no build, you didn't build them up once. They only had 2 wins since October, and they were put in this match, and they won the titles. It's classic WWE giving the titles to jobbers who have never won a match. I thought they were gonna. And second of all,
Hawkins and Ryder.
Oh yeah, exactly. They didn't even build anybody up. If you're gonna put the title, I'm not saying I don't want Iconic Duo to win. All I'm saying is, build them up first so that jobbers don't win the titles off of your two of your biggest stars in the company, right? So, second of all, I thought they were going to make these tag titles credible and mean something, and Bayley and Sasha showed up on NXT a month or 2 ago, which got a huge pop, by the way. That was a big surprise, and they said, we're going to defend our titles across every show and make these titles mean something, and I thought they were getting ready to have a long, actually protected and good title reign with some good matches across all brands. But no, just a month into their title reign or whatever. What was it? They won at the Chamber. That's right. So it's about 2 months, coming up on 2 months, that they had the titles. They defended it once and then they lost it. So
yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with you when you put it that way. I didn't really see it
because we had this conversation, to preface for everybody listening. We had this conversation on Twitter together where we kind of disagreed about this because the drama. Should I just go into the drama?
Well, no. Okay. So I agree with you in those terms that yes, that's definitely not the way that you build them up. But I do disagree with you in the handling of it. If the drama is true, you know what I mean?
The handling of what?
Like the way that you go over it and then I'll explain this.
Okay. So the big drama was, so we all know that Sasha's got a tendency to rub people the wrong way, and
boy, ain't that right?
I know you don't really like her. I'm not the biggest fan of her. There's a lot of people that just overlook the fact that she's good in the ring just because she's kind of unlikable, But I try to be as honest as I possibly can about things.
Oh, right? and you know what? Let me just preface this as saying that I think Sasha Banks is a great wrestler. One of my favorite matches, Sasha versus Bayley from Brooklyn, NXT Brooklyn, where Bayley finally won the title, and honestly, I think Sasha Banks is a great wrestler, and she's had great matches. Like you said, her personality is the thing that rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, So she has a tendency to do that. Like, people rubbing people the wrong way in wrestling. What a shocker, right? So she, there was this report coming out after SmackDown. Maybe, what was it, Wednesday? Maybe Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It was a couple days ago, nonetheless. Doesn't matter. But the report was that Sasha tried to quit WWE over the weekend after WrestleMania or something like that. Like, she was not happy with the way everything was handled with the booking and creative and the way things were handled, I guess you could say, in just in short terms. So that was the report, that she tried to quit, and WWE was like, no, just ride it out and think about it. We don't want to let you go. And then the reports got even crazier because after that, the reports were that Bayley, and of course these reports are from insiders, quote unquote, right, and wrestling reporters and journalists, quote unquote. It was said that Bayley was also unhappy with how things were. She wasn't at Sasha level wanting to leave the company, but she was also not very pleased at all with dropping the titles and creative and blah blah blah. So then it got even
well. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Well, then it got even worse with this report from Ryan Satin coming out, saying, he said, should I just, well, I can't look for the actual, well, I guess I can. Should I look for the actual tweet?
Yeah, and then I'll explain. Yeah, while you look for the tweet,
I never sent that fucking tweet. I just realized I never sent that fucking tweet to say that we're live.
Oh, shit.
Whatever. It's whatever. It's fine. I'll still put the show after the fact.
But okay.
I'm looking this tweet up, and
but this is I'm going to talk about my opinion. So, like, I totally get that it's disappointing. They wanted to be, they wanted to make sure that they were good in terms of, like, being the first win. You got to think, though, they are the first ever women's tag team champions. Like, they have this accolade that nobody else is going to ever have. I understand they're disappointed that they got to drop the titles now, but it's not going to be the only time. I guarantee you Sasha and Bayley would be back in that title picture. If not, like, just, they might, like, even have gotten it back. Like, it just could have been just a quick WrestleMania pop the crowd moment. But, like, I just think that, like, especially at, I know you can say, oh, it's not everything, but, like, for the amount of money that Sasha Banks and Bayley bring to that company and the amount of money they get for what they do, like, if I'm a wrestler, yeah, obviously I want to be the number one and I want to be champion, because that's why you get into wrestling. But, like, it's not going to be the last time that you'll ever touch those titles. I guarantee you that they would win it again if they want to. If they decide to keep them as a team, and if they don't decide to keep them as a team, Sasha Banks and Bayley can always jump into the single scene and be an immediate, like, championship contender. I just think that being themselves, Sasha and Bayley, like, it's not like they are such. I understand they're big stars and they want to be treated as such, but, like, I feel like Sasha and Bayley could be, like, they're always going to be legitimate, and, like, I think that this situation with them, and if they're really going to be pouty about it, like, it really does rub me the wrong way, and I'm sure it rubs a lot of other fans the wrong way too.
All right, I found the tweet, and then I'll give my my thoughts about what you said. So. This report, man, sounds so unbelievable. It's ridiculous. So this guy's Ryan Satin. He's the wrestling reporter, and you know what? To his credit, like, he's credible, I suppose, and he's got some things right, with his reports and stuff. So he tweeted. This was 2 days ago. He tweeted, heard from a few sources now saying Sasha Banks and Bayley were laying on the floor of the locker room on Sunday and back at the hotel in front of one of their rooms, loudly making it known they were unhappy about losing the tag titles. This info is from 4 different sources I've spoken with the past day, all independent from each other, and all came to me about it, not the other way around. So, listen, I have no idea if that's true, but to me, that sounds totally unbelievable. The fact that Sasha and Bayley would be throwing a temper tantrum about losing the tag titles when, and not even to mention, they were in the crowd during the main event. Did you see that picture they took? They were in the crowd during the Triple Threat Women's main event. Sasha was throwing up the 4 horsewomen hand sign, you know, and Bayley was the smile. They looked pretty jovial and happy to me. And then after that, I think it was yesterday that Sasha Banks posted on Instagram a picture of Bayley and Sasha posing with Iconic Duo right after Iconic Duo won the titles. They were like all kind of hugging each other, I guess, backstage. So
yeah.
And then Sasha Banks posted to her Twitter or her Instagram story like a not self. I guess it's kind of selfie. A picture of her with 2 other, I guess, friends of hers, with the caption "Thanks for the laughs." I don't know if that was a slight dig, and there was a picture of them like laughing or whatever. I don't know if that was like a slight dig at the reports, you know?
Yeah.
Just to me, that report that they're like throwing temper tantrums and shit on the floor.
Oh yeah, that sounds fake.
I don't know if I believe that. You know, he says 4 different sources is where this came from, all independent from one another. So you know what? You know, anything's possible in wrestling. You know what I mean? Like,
see, you know, and I know this sounds terrible because you know I have a bias, but I totally see Sasha doing that, but I can't see Bayley at all doing something like that.
I don't know. And then I guess I didn't see this. I don't know if this actually happened or not, but people are quick to notice who wrestlers and people follow and unfollow on Twitter and stuff. Apparently, she unfollowed WWE and followed AEW. So that's kind of funny, to be quite honest.
Honestly, I guarantee you she did that just to mess with people. I guarantee you.
Probably. Well, okay. So here's my thoughts.
Well, and see, this is something that like I'm able to like that I'll say is like I like Sasha Banks. Like I guarantee you she's a nice person. Like because like I've seen videos that her husband has posted, and she seems like a wonderful person. She's been on Up Up Down Down. She seems like a great person. Like, but like you know, I don't know. I need to learn to better separate the gimmick from the person, because obviously I don't like the boss character.
All right, can I respond to what you said though about the creative whatever, I guess. You know me too. Like, I'm not really a huge fan of Sasha either. You know. That being said, I can't overlook the fact that Sasha kind of has like very valid and justifiable right to be upset and frustrated at the creative of how she's been handled, and same with Bayley for that matter. But if you look at Sasha, everything they did with her, and she really was misused. She was not underused. That's not what I'm saying. Like, people try to say that people are underused, push this person, push that person. She was not underused. She was just misused. Like, all of her title reigns mean Jack diddly squat. She lost. She didn't defend them. She defended the tag title reign, but I'm talking like world titles. World title wise, she didn't defend one successfully. She had 4 title reigns, and they love to tout how great that is. Like, oh, she had 4 title reigns. Isn't she so great? Well, yeah, but she didn't defend it once successfully, you know? And really, like, for the past year, Sasha really, you know, just kind of been there, not doing anything. They just, I honestly, you know, if I were in her shoes, I'd probably be disappointed and frustrated too, because some of the booking decisions and creative decisions surrounding her and Bayley have been puzzling and like dumb, you know. she's honestly, there's also, I read a good point about this. There's like, it's not just like, I know what you said, but it really isn't just about titles. Like, who cares if you were the first ever whatever if it means nothing in the end? It's just a title. And I don't mean titles in the belt. I mean like it's just a name, like a title you have over your head, you know? Like, it's just like everything leads to the same place in the end with these two, you know? They start to do something with them, and then it's just, oh, you're gonna drop the titles, and then there's nothing for you. I was like, okay, well, why? I thought you literally just told everybody you were gonna make these titles credible, and everything was gonna be fun and cross-brand matches, and you're gonna build these people up, and you can finally make Sasha, you know, I don't know. Just not even to mention the fact that Sasha and Bayley were the ones who pushed for these titles in the first place. You know, they knocked on Vince's door like every day, annoying the hell out of him, according to the Revival. That's what they said. Knocking on Vince's door every day to like, we really want these titles. We really want to prove how this division means something or whatever. And then they do this. Like, I kind of agree with them in the fact that, you know, it is kind of dumb. Why would you? I can't overlook the fact that they're, you know, Sasha's got valid reason to be frustrated, you know? It's like...
I disagree.
I don't see how you can, you know? Her title reigns mean jack shit. She's done nothing.
Okay, well, her title reigns have been jack shit, but, I mean, who would you rather be? Would you rather be Sasha Banks, or would you rather be Dana Brooke? Like, I'll take Sasha Banks 10 days out of 10.
Wow, I mean, that's a little different, you know?
Like, I mean, she could have been, you know, I mean, like, okay, like I said, Sasha Banks is a great wrestler. She's great, and I think she's, like, you know, she can back up what she says in the ring, obviously. I just think that Sasha Banks, like she's, and I don't know, this isn't like, I'm sorry, I keep pushing it on Sasha, but it's Sasha and Bayley. Because Sasha's the one that everyone was like, oh, well, you know, she's the one saying she wants to leave. I just think that, like, you know, okay, you know, you're unhappy being where you are, Sasha. Just go to AEW. You could probably run the women's division in AEW. She probably could. But you know what? It's like, I don't know. It's.
The way I look at it is this is now 5 times she's held a title for 1 month and just lost it, and then they've got nothing for her. I don't know how anybody can see that and not understand the frustration. Like, if this were, let's say this was like Seth Rollins, for instance, okay? Let's say Seth Rollins won the world title. I mean, I can't even fathom this, but just for, you know, hypotheticals. Let's say Seth Rollins won the world title like 3 or 4 times and lost it after like 1 month, and even in Sasha's case, one of the title reigns she had literally only lasted 8 days. Kind of like it's kind of like when Akira Tozawa won the cruiserweight title, and he only held it for 8 days, and then they put it back on Neville for some reason. But Seth Rollins wins the world title 4 times and loses it, and only holds it for like an accumulative 131 days. I think that's the number I read. So then he's one of the biggest stars of the company. He's a fan favorite. He makes them a shit ton of money, continually just being put in useless job matches against Riot Squad where nobody gets over. They're just in filler segments for like 2 years straight. They finally do something huge after that they've been pushing for forever. And, you know, Seth Rollins wins the tag team titles, and then he drops them a month later. I don't know. I would be frustrated too, you know? Like,
I mean, and you know what? That's your opinion. That's your opinion. You can agree with Sasha Banks. I disagree fundamentally, but you know what? You can agree, and that's okay. I mean, I'm not saying you're stupid for agreeing. No, I don't. I'm just saying it's a bad opinion.
I'm just trying to understand how you don't get that though, because that's so like, it's just the creative handling of, and not even just Sasha and Bayley. You know, screw Sasha and Bayley for just a second. This whole women's division has been so disjointed and all over the place. And
I agree that the women's division has been mishandled. I definitely agree with that. But I think
worth a damn are Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. Like,
Well, and the thing is though, is that like you could in theory have you could in theory have Sasha or Bailey in that scene and everybody would take it seriously. I'm seriously though. I'm serious about that. I really am.
Yeah, but I don't have reason to believe that they're gonna put Sasha and Bailey in the title scene again, and then like history shows, like they don't care for some reason, like you know what? It seems to me like for some reason WWE does not push the people that make them the most money. Sasha Banks probably makes the company a lot of money and like merch and just stuff like I don't even know. She's one of the biggest stars. Whenever you hear people talk about who's the biggest women's wrestlers or whatever, it's always going to be Charlotte, Becky at the moment, and Sasha. It's like the three, and four horsewomen, I suppose, in general. But of course, Bailey has kind of overtaken Becky as the forgotten one in that bunch, anymore at least. But like, why? I don't believe for a second that they'll just they got nothing for him. I'm sorry, especially with this automatic rematch clause just gone now. They're done.
All right, we gotta move on.
Final thoughts. I wouldn't be surprised to see him leave. They got nothing for him anymore after losing these titles. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they actually leave. I think this whole Sasha drama has overblown, of course, with the whole Ryan Satin tweets and whatnot. It's it is what it is. What the hell, So yeah. After that, this was the best match of the night. Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE title.
Yes, it was done very well.
Before the match started, Big E held he had like a box, like a big blue and like reddish pinkish box, and I was like, is there a new title in there or something?
Did you is that what you thought? Because some people were like, oh no, that's like a weapon that he's going to use to turn on the New Day with.
What? Really?
Yeah, I don't know. People were like,
it didn't happen, but it was not a title, as we'll get to. This match was the best of the whole night, in my opinion. What were the other? Was there another? I don't even know. What was the other? What's the second best match in your opinion? Besides,
the second best match. I would say Shane Miz.
Really?
I really like Shane Miz.
I have to look. Probably the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Maybe Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that was a banger.
Maybe Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. Man, I just remember how fucking long this card was. Well,
all right, we need to pick up the pace.
Yeah, Rowan and New Day were out at ringside the whole time, and I was expecting some shenanigans to go on there, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
I mean, they brawled and stuff outside with each other, but that's different. So there were a lot of spots where Kofi kicked out, and the crowd got a huge reaction, and like it was real close and tense. You didn't know who was winning. I mean, I kind of figured that Kofi would win when Big E had that fucking box.
Yeah. See, the only thing about that is like it felt like it didn't really kick into like that last gear. Like it had everything, but it felt like it was missing that very last gear. And I don't remember, I don't know what would have kicked it into high gear, but
yeah,
like it felt like it was missing like that fever pitch.
Yeah. Well, I suppose. But the title was situated on this like little platform, I guess, outside the ring, and after the match, Kofi won, by the way, and it got like the biggest pop of the night. And at this point, the crowd was kind of a little falling off because, again, it's a 7-hour show, give or take. If you watch the pre-show, well, I don't know, but I don't know how many people in the crowd actually sat and watched the pre-show, but this in the Rollins moment and the Becky moment were probably the biggest pops, I would say. But probably this got the biggest reaction. Kofi won. The place went crazy. Everybody was going nuts. It was really tense and back and forth. There were a lot of near falls. The New Day coming to the ring. They embraced with Kofi. Kofi finally won the title, which I still can't get over. That Kofi Kingston is the WWE champion, the champion of the entire company. So
yeah, and
they go.
You had told me that like a year ago.
Yeah, if you told me that 5 months ago, I would have been like, all right, get the fuck out of here, you know. They come out. They go back outside the ring. Xavier is crying. He takes that little blanket covering thing and unveils the old WWE title, not the hemp belt, but the original. Not I say original, quote unquote, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it actually looks more studded out. You know, like it looks more blinged out a little bit, like it's maybe been refurbished a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But Kofi is the new champion. He celebrates with his children. People backstage are happy. Yeah, that was the best. That was the best match of the whole show. Yeah, I got no problem.
And honestly, I expected it.
I was so worried that he wasn't gonna win though. Like after all that, you know, kind of like same with Becky for that matter. You know, but we got all happy endings for the major title matches. You know.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But of course, it's not all happy, I suppose, because we'll get to the main event. But up next, I'm just going to skip all the filler segments like the Kevin Nash and Scott Hall backstage, which is actually funny.
They were doctors. Michael Che.
Yeah, they were doctors, and they were going to go deep and hard on Colin Jost and Michael Che. Up next,
they were.
Up next was a squash match, if I've ever seen one, a WrestleMania squash match. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title. And I thought Ray was going to win this. Was I wrong? Samoa Joe.
Oh no, yeah, I totally was like, oh yeah, that's going to be Joe.
Yeah, Samoa Joe came out. He hit the coquina clutch on Ray and won in 40 seconds. Poor Ray with all his short Mania match. Do you remember when JBL and him fought at WrestleMania 25 and it was 15 seconds long for the IC title? And Ray won, and then JBL quit right afterwards. You remember that?
Oh yeah, that's right.
JBL was so like,
you know what? I quit.
Yeah, he just quit. So yeah, Joe retained. And I was like, well, shit. I don't. As a general rule, I mean, they kind of had to do it again, I guess. But you know, this is just the fault of the show having too many damn matches. I don't like squash matches at Mania. I'm not a fan of them. I don't like matches that are. And that could have been a great match, you know. But you know, it's.
I mean, it could have. I understand what you mean, like that you don't like squash matches at Mania. But my reasoning for liking this, not just because I picked Samoa Joe, but because like in the kayfabe reasoning of like it's a sport. Sometimes in fights, this happens. Like you know.
The one silver there's that Joe is actually like, you know, he actually won like convincingly, and he's actually being taken seriously now. So
yeah,
that's what I liked about it. At least Joe's actually a serious contender, but I don't know what they do now with him, and we'll get to that. So up next, another very underwhelming match that had nothing to it: Roman versus Drew McIntyre.
This was a Raw match.
Yeah, the crowd was Drew McIntyre came out to his theme song being played by what do you even call them?
Bagpipe players.
They were like, yeah, the bagpipe players, drums, people in kilts. It was kind of cool. I still miss his old theme song, but from when he was in NXT, you know, whatever.
I miss his old theme song, "Broken Dreams."
Yeah, I miss. This theme song sounds like a Terminator.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this match was nothing. The crowd was doing the wave during this match. I think wasn't there a sign in the crowd that said, "Is it too early to boo Roman?"
That's hilarious.
I just think, you know, and this, you know what, this feud wasn't even done like improperly or anything. You know, like Drew stood tall a shit ton of times. It was predictable that Roman was going to win, of course, but you know, whatever. Like. This felt like just a match where it's like, well, you know, just go out there and whatever, have a Raw match, like you said. So Roman won with the spear. The crowd, I heard a little bit of boos in there. You know, I think people are not That's why I was afraid they were going to put the title on him, because I could easily see them turning on him after something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Roman started to get a little emotional. He cheered up in the corner, and good for Roman that he's back, And here's your favorite segment of the entire night. Elias came out, and he started doing.
Actually, this was a very good segment.
I love this segment. He started doing a performance with himself, where he was playing guitar in the ring, but on the screen he was playing piano and the drums, and I thought this was pretty good. It sounded nice, the music, I actually like the music. So, Elias is like, I just gave the greatest performance of all time. Blah blah blah. It's his typical Elias spiel, So, right as he's about to keep going with his performance, something hits the screen and it says in all caps "special bulletin," and it shows like old footage of Babe Ruth and playing baseball, and it's in black and white. It's like actual old footage, I guess because they're in New York, but I don't know. I didn't know what the hell this was all about and what it had to do with what happened next. But Babe Ruth is like hitting it out of the park, and then screen goes black, and then a big swerve. Doctor of Thugonomics John Cena came out. His music hit.
Yes, and you know what? He was on fire too.
Oh yeah, he was great. I loved this. And he said WWE does not stand for walking with Elias. He says, this means walk with Elias? Nah, I'm not really feeling it, because without the guitar, what it really means is wasted wrestling experiment. Damn, what a sizzler. That was a damn good burn. And, of course, he throws his nuts in his face. He said, tonight you're not going to get an AA, you're going to get an FU, which I thought was a cool callback, because, You know what I noticed, though, a couple weeks ago when I was doing a solo review of Raw and SmackDown?
What's that?
What did I can't remember what the scenario was, but I called the AA the FU, not even thinking about it. Like I wasn't even
though it hasn't been called the FU for 10 years.
And I didn't even just listening back on it, I was like, I called that the FU, and I didn't even say anything about it. I was just like, yeah, he hit the FU, and I was like, what? So he hit the 5-knuckle shuffle on him. He had the chain on. He hit the FU, and no, we did not get John Cena as the special guest ref for Angle versus Corbin.
Good, because then that way the right man would go over.
Yeah. A lot of and then it gets even worse on the next show, but we'll get to that. So Batista versus Triple H. I thought this was actually a really fun match. The crowd didn't care for it because it was a long show. It was another match that was actually pretty fine with me. I actually enjoyed this match.
I mean, I think I was I had to really use the bathroom at that point, so I didn't get to see the most of this match.
What match was it?
Triple H versus Batista.
Batista came out though, and when he hit the ring, you didn't see this, but when he started to get into the ring, Batista tripped on the rope and fell into the ring.
I know he went and he was like, I'm gonna redo that.
Yeah, poor Batista, Like he got in the ring, he was kind of smiling about it a little bit. He went back outside the ring. He walked around it again. He hit the ring again, and then he was like laughing about it. So at least, he's probably not gonna. I mean, he'll still get memed for it, but at least he laughed at it, And,
yeah. What a guy that Batista.
Boo-tista, Blue-tista, Trip-tista. Poor Batista. This match had some fun spots in it, though, I thought. Triple H came out in I guess it was Mad Max inspired entrance.
Mm-hmm.
On that big ass car thing. Is that what it was though? Because I never really watched.
It was Mad Max, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was Triple H's entrances are always great.
Yeah. So. Somebody mentioned. I listened to a podcast and they mentioned that when right after Triple H did that, and when he as soon as his time to play the game music hit, Michael Cole went, "Wow, wasn't that cool?"
Yeah, exactly. So
And then it made it instantly not cool.
yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, fuckhead.
Listen, fuckhead.
So this match had some gnarly spots in it. Dude, Triple H whipped Batista with a giant ass chain, which probably actually did hurt. You can't fake that. A giant chain being hit across your back, that probably hurt, and it made like a loud thud. He got some. They weren't pliers. What were they? They were.
No, they were pliers.
They were channel lock pliers. Okay, that's what the name of them were. He put them around Batista's fingers and like reeled back on him and like broke his fingers seemingly, which prompted Pete Dunne to tweet out the eyes looking emoji.
Yeah,
which was funny because Pete Dunne, he does the finger breaking and stuff as well.
Yeah, that's his thing.
And then probably the biggest spot of the match that most people are going to remember. Batista has a nose ring, and Triple H got another pair of pliers and took Batista's nose ring out with the pliers, like he ripped it out, which prompted that great reaction photo from Batista. And of course, Batista obviously didn't rip this out, but Batista ripped it out himself right before this, and then and then they just kind of like did their magic showbiz whatever, right, and acted. But the fact that Batista actually still did rip this out by himself, and
so he actually ripped it out?
He like actually took it out, yeah, himself, because you could see blood was like on his nose from where the spot was. So Batista's a badass, He took it out right before the spots, so that he actually wouldn't have to have pliers rip it out. So they brawl outside the ring. They go up top on the announce table with steel steps positioned. He gets back body dropped through the announce table. The table doesn't break. Do you remember that? Damn.
I am the table.
I am the table. Yeah, that table didn't break. That was gnarly too. So yeah, they brawl through.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been like Orton at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, exactly, where he lands on the monitor.
Oh, every time I watch that, I like cringe.
Yeah. Hey man, clear the effing table. Yeah. That's classic Orton. He didn't clear the table. You got to, right? So Triple H pulls out his trusty sledgehammer. They go brawl back inside the ring. The steel steps are in the ring at this point. Batista got powerbombed off the steps, and he skidded and thudded and bounced off the steps. Did you see this bounce he took?
No, I wasn't watching at that point.
He bounced off the steel steps, dude. Oh, man, Batista took a beating, But the finish was Ric Flair came out and assisted Triple H. Eventually there was only one sledgehammer in the ring, but Ric Flair came out and gave Triple H a sledgehammer because Batista had the other one, and Batista didn't know it, I guess. So Ric Flair, of course, this is because Batista attacked Ric Flair on his 70th birthday, which set up this feud. Triple H hit Batista with the sledgehammer, and he hit the pedigree onto Batista and got the pin. So I had no problem with this match. If it was earlier in the show, it probably would have gotten a bigger reaction, Up next, speaking of bigger reactions, holy shit. Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. Who gives a shit? Baron Corbin won. Up next was Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't care. I'll say this. Kurt Angle had a great heartfelt moment at the end with the crowd. He said goodbye. I've had for 20 years. I had the time of my life. Thank you. And he got great chance. So seemingly that was his last appearance, right? Of course not. So up next was Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title. Of course, Finn Balor came out as the Demon. And were you afraid that Lashley was going to win at all?
No.
Okay,
not even with when Lashley came out with those like contacts in and he looked like a big old badass. Even then I was like, nope, no way.
He looked like a Mortal Kombat character with those contacts.
No way.
With yellow contacts.
He really did, yeah.
This was honestly a squash in my opinion. It was
but it wasn't like an immediate squash. So,
it was a short match though. Finn Balor came out as the Demon, looking great as ever. Finn Balor won the title. Yeah,
dude, I don't know. I mean, I understand it takes a lot to like prepare him and all that kind of stuff, but Finn Balor should be a bigger star than he is.
Yeah. He's another guy who they've kind of mishandled since getting called up. But of course, it didn't help that he got injured the day after he won the title, or he got injured the day he won the title. He had to vacate it the day later.
Yeah, he got injured in that match.
Yeah, and I don't think Vince or whoever ever, I don't think he ever was like, well, you know what, he's never going to be the top guy, because he was going to be the top guy when he won that title. They put a lot of faith in him when he got called up from NXT, and then he got injured the night he won the title. So unfortunate, but Finn Balor wins back the Intercontinental title. He's now a 2-time champion. My question is, why couldn't they just have him win the title for the first time at WrestleMania instead of having him win it at the Chamber, lose it back, and then win it back? So it's whatever.
Was that the first time he's ever won the title? The Intercontinental title?
No, he won it at Elimination Chamber. I'm saying why...
Well, no, I meant was Chamber the first time he won?
Oh, yeah.
Really? For some reason, I remember him having that title before.
Other than the Universal title, that was his first singles title since getting called up to the main roster. So, up next, they had a useless dance break. I mean, the show was fucking long. Why did they do a dance break?
That was absolutely awful.
And I love R-Truth and Carmella, but trying to get 80K people to floss, the crowd was dead at this point. The crowd was...
I mean, you saw what happened when Ninja tried to get people to floss at New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and it failed miserably. So, Carmella's hotness was not enough to get me to care about this segment. So,
by the way, Carmella, who doesn't even acknowledge the fact that she won the Women's Battle Royal earlier.
I think she did. I think she might mention it. I think so. I think she might mention it, but it doesn't matter. So, all they did was lie about the attendance like they always do. 82,000 people, apparently. Okay, sure. So, up next, this was the main event. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles. Charlotte came in through with a helicopter.
I thought that was badass.
Which was a callback to Ric Flair entering.
See, I didn't know that.
I think
if I would have known that, I probably would have thought it would be stupid.
What show was it? Was it Bash at the Beach? It was one. I think it was Bash at the Beach one year where he entered with a helicopter. So this was kind of like that, where she entered with a helicopter. And Joan Jett and the Blackhearts played Bad Reputation for Ronda coming out. I thought they should have played Bad Reputation by Thin Lizzy for Becky. It just works, But, whatever. Becky came out. This match got underway. They all looked pretty badass, to be honest. And one of the big parts was Ronda broke her hand punching Becky, I guess. She broke her hand during this match. Ronda's actually having surgery this Tuesday, is what I read. So, in fact, Becky mentioned that on Twitter. She was like, Ronda broke her hand on the face that said... Ronda broke her hand on the face she said was too easily breakable. And then she was, laughing, Because it's funny because it's true. So, there were some fun spots. Ronda took a nasty bump outside where she... Ronda had Charlotte in this arm bar in the ropes, and then Becky kicked Ronda, out to the outside where she almost landed on her neck, which is almost bad. That was a gnarly bump.
I remember that one.
Yeah. I thought this match was fun. Charlotte hit a Spanish Fly on Becky, which always looks nice. They bring out a table that ended up kind of being botched a little bit. Ronda and Becky threw Charlotte through the table, but it barely broke. What is up with tables not breaking? I am the table. So that took Charlotte out of the match at least.
The finish of this match become good enough.
Yeah, the finish of this match was botched. So Ronda goes for the Piper's Pit, which is the fucking whatever move she does. That spinning, I guess it's just a Samoan drop, kind of, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a spinning.
I say it's more like a spinning attitude adjustment.
Think so. I guess. Well, either way, she goes for the Piper's Pit. She has her up on her shoulders. She has Becky up on her shoulders, and Becky counters with a crucifix pin. And I don't know if this was the finish. I don't know if the finish was this was going to be the finish. Like actually, she pins her. But even if it was botched because Ronda's shoulder. Her right shoulder was not down whatsoever, and the ref counted 1, 2, 3, and Becky won the Raw and SmackDown Women's title. And Ronda got like
rumors are that she was supposed to tap out Charlotte.
Yeah, that's what I read. I read conflicting reports that this was the finish, but it was just botched. But I also read that it wasn't the finish. If this wasn't the finish, I don't know whose fault it was. I think it's just kind of a thing. One of those.
That would have been the ref, right? That would have been on the ref.
But the refs are told not to phone it in. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't Ronda kick out? But then again, her shoulder was up. So, well, either way, it was botched finish. Her shoulder wasn't up, which kind of marred the moment. You know, I didn't pop when Becky won because this was one of the matches I was really anxious about because I really wanted Becky to win. You know, but when she won, I was just kind of like, okay. I didn't like.
You were expecting someone like to come down and because Ronda's shoulders were up, you were expecting someone to come down and say, "Wait a minute."
No, I was just expecting like a different finish. So I was just like, "Oh, I guess okay." Yeah. So Becky won the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles. Even the crowd was kind of like, you know, whoa, okay, and that was the show. All around, I enjoyed it. There were some moments in there where I was just kind of meh about, you know. But all around, I thought it was a good show.
Yeah.
That's WrestleMania, the biggest show of them all. So,
I mean, I'm going to say this was a very good WrestleMania. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It's just, the only problem is that it was too damn long. You know what I mean? I know that you think, and, you know, I agree because I go out for WrestleMania. I'll watch everything, you know. You know me, I watch everything. But you really don't think it being long is that big of a deal. I understand that, but sometimes I just like, let's get this going, you know? Let's get this
I know.
done,
like,
you know? Like,
I don't agree that SummerSlam or Survivor Series should be 4 hours long. But if it's WrestleMania, well, why not? Go for it. It's WrestleMania.
Or the Rumble, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was a 7-hour show for people in the crowd. It was 12:30. I think it was like 12:24 exactly when this match ended. 12:24 in the morning, Eastern time.
And I had work, and then
yeah, you went the hell to sleep after this. So, after that,
not really, because I stayed up until 4 because I couldn't get to sleep. Really? So,
rip. Well, after this, Batista took to Twitter and said that he was retiring. He is officially retired from sports entertainment. Congratulations, Batista, on a great career. I mean, he said many times that this was his farewell match against Triple H, and nobody brought it up. Well, he didn't say many times, but he said that one time, and I was like, why is nobody talking about this? This is his last match, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, it was also Kurt Angle's last match. Maybe Batista didn't want to take any attention away from
Angle. I think that's what I heard was like.
Because they already had a farewell match, you know? So,
yeah.
Good on Batista for not really taking much attention from it. So, Batista's probably going to be a Hall of Famer, like, very soon, you think?
Like next year, probably.
Probably kind of like Edge, you know, when he retired. And
yeah.
That was WrestleMania. Up next was Raw. The night after Mania, Raw is always the biggest show, historically. The biggest Raw of the year. And this was kind of meh. Not going to lie. So, the show started with Rollins. I
had the theory as to why it was a little bit meh.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so my theory here is that the reason why it wasn't as great as it probably usually is because Vince blew his wad and brought up all the call-ups literally to like a month or two ago.
Yeah, that's sure.
Because like usually it's popping because of all the call-ups.
Yeah. I was expecting a call-up at the end of the show, but we'll get into that shit show. And you didn't even see this show, but
nope.
You saw a little bit of it, but just via whatever highlights, tweets. Seth Rollins came out. The crowd chanted, "You deserve it." Your favorite chant.
He deserves it.
Just everybody gets that chant, you know. Why do you deserve it? Just because you work there? Just because you've been working there for a long time? So, he said, "No, we deserve it," because he's a babyface, and the New Day came out. That was a surprise. So it's Seth Rollins and Kofi in the ring together with the New Day, of course. They're both celebrating. Big E did the splits, which was impressive. He got a big reaction for that. I don't know how Big E can do that.
And then tore his
yeah, wouldn't it be funny if he tore his meniscus during this? That's how he did it. That would suck. So, so the big part of this, since I'm not going to drag on about this. Kofi said, "I really enjoyed what the women did with having winner-take-all matches. So what do you say tonight? We have a winner-take-all match. Universal Champion versus WWE Champion. No New Day by my side. No Shield by your side. Just one-on-one, title for title." And Rollins accepts. And I thought, what? I thought...
you were like, abort mission.
Yeah, and people were excited about this. Why? I guarantee... You know what? I'll save that rant for later tonight, because I gotta fucking... whatever. So it's title for title. I just think that's stupid. So that's the main event. Title for title, Rollins versus Kofi, a night after both of them win the title. So, you know, whatever, I guess. Nobody's thinking about it. They're just like, oh, this is great. So, and I'll explain why they're stupid for thinking that. Sometimes wrestling fans are so dumb, right? Fickle. In the words of Daniel Bryan. Yeah. Impotent. Change it. Damn, I love Daniel Bryan. I hope his injury isn't bad. I don't even know how he got injured, but Hawkins and Ryder came out. It's going to be Revival versus Hawkins and Ryder in a rematch for the titles. So I guess automatic rematch clause is back. I don't know what the fuck. They don't explain anything on this show, as usual. So they just get a match again. So as a little homage to Bret Hart, I guess, Dawson and Wilder did the heart attack, which was kind of cool, you know. Because, of course, Dash Wilder pummeled that poor... I keep saying poor dude, but he's not. That dude that stormed the stage, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? As far as matches go, I had no problem with this match. This match was fine. Kurt Hawkins rolled up Dash Wilder again and retained. So Kurt Hawkins is now the dude that's going to win all the matches. He's on a 2-match winning streak. How about that? So, up next, Baron Corbin came out, and here's another thing that was kind of stupid, if you ask me, and I want to get your thoughts on it. I think you'll agree with me. We might not agree about the women thing, but I think you'll agree with me on this, that this segment with Corbin and Angle was retarded. So Corbin comes out. He's getting booed heavily. The crowd's chanting, "Shut the fuck up," at him, legitimately. He said he proves he was better than Angle, and he says he feels like he deserves a gold medal now. So Kurt Angle's music hits. He comes out in like a suit, or not a suit, but like whatever, some formal wear, and Kurt Angle's like, "I just want to say you're the better man, Baron. I want to shake your hand," and they shake hands, and Kurt does not let go, and he says, "I wish you luck." Bad luck. And then he angle slams Baron Corbin and puts the ankle lock on him. Why?
That's dumb.
Why would you put the dude over in your final match if you were going to stand tall against him the next night? That actually is stupid booking. As much as I don't like Corbin, that's actually retarded booking. You know? So...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you cannot have him get his heat back. That's just...
Yeah, I know, he's going.
That's dumb.
So what are they going to... We had this discussion when you were trying to tell me that give Corbin a chance now, and I'm like, they're going to do nothing with him. Well, I think I'm kind of right in thinking that because they just let Angle get his heat back against the dude he just lost clean to. Like, why? Unless they're going to do another feud. Because, you know, Corbin and his never-ending feuds, right? So,
Jesus Christ.
The big thing here was
Corbin.
Lars Sullivan's music hit. And I guess a lot of people didn't even really know who he was because he didn't get that much of a reaction. But Lars Sullivan's music hit. He's finally back. I'm glad to see he's okay after that. He had that anxiety attack a couple months back when he originally got called up. So yeah, he's back. He attacked Kurt Angle.
Honestly, though, I think Lars could be a big star because I don't know. I think he's got the look. You know?
He's ugly. He's a big brute.
You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the old school heels, like the old school dudes who were like big bruisers, and you know what I mean?
You know his gimmick though, right?
That he's like a genius, right?
Yeah, his vocabulary is large, and his promos that he cuts, he says like he uses big words and shit, you know, but he's like a monster. It's like a really unique dynamic that I don't think I've seen before with a big guy like that, you know. So yeah, Lars Sullivan comes out, he hits the freak accent on Kurt Angle, and stands tall. So why didn't Kurt Angle put over Lars Sullivan in WrestleMania?
Yeah, right. Maybe that was the original plan, and then because Lars, had his mental breakdown, they had to go with somebody else, and who was there?
Maybe that's true. Maybe it would have been Lars. Who knows? He also hit the diving headbutt. Shades of Benoit. I'm just kidding. So after that, it was Alexa Bliss versus Bayley in an impromptu match. Bayley's back, and Bayley got squashed by Alexa Bliss. I think it's done. I think Bayley's done now. You know, there goes your theory about Bayley being inserted in the title picture, believably, because she got squashed.
But, I mean, she can be though.
Yeah, but they won't. You know, that's just the. I mean, yeah, you're right. They can be, but they won't do it. But Alexa Bliss won, which seemingly upset a lot of people, just because people have a hate boner for Alexa. You know.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Is Alexa not entertaining? I mean, I kind of get it because. I don't know. I kind of see where they're coming from, but maybe it's just because I'm Alexa and I like Alexa. But I don't get a lot of the hate she gets. So after that, Becky Lynch comes out. She calls herself Becky Two Belts, so I guess they're allowed to say belts now, which I thought was a banned term.
And you know what the funny thing is? I was saying, because of the. There's that meme that you've never seen before, but that where it's the old ad for, I don't know what it's for, but like it's this kid and he's got two hot dogs, and then this other kid has got one hot dog. Goes, gee, Bill, how come your mom lets you have two wieners? Yeah. And that's what I think of when I see Becky Two Belts. I think of, gee, Becky, why does your mom let you have two belts?
Well, yeah, that's kind of a. You should crop Becky's head on the kid.
Yeah, right. And then have the belt. Yeah, right.
So Becky said, if Ronda wants the title back, I'm standing right here. I'm willing to. I'm willing. I'm right here, ready. So Becky does not stand down from no bitch. So Becky just starts to leave the ring since nothing's happening, and. Lacey Evans' music hits, and I'm like, they're actually going to just throw Lacey Evans into the title picture. No build, no matches except for the Rumble. Like, am I wrong? Is it too much to ask for them to just build some people before they throw them in the title picture?
No, not at all. That's not wrong at all. You don't have
why?
You shouldn't have to.
Listen, I've said when Lacey Evans got called up, I'm actually a big fan of Lacey Evans, I actually really like Lacey. I know you didn't watch NXT much, but I legit think, her character is great in my opinion, especially as a heel, she's got a good look. She's actually decent in the ring. Although it's been fucking years since I've seen her wrestle now. That's an exaggeration, of course. But so yeah, Lacey Evans comes out. She stares down with Becky. She starts to turn away to leave, but then she sucker punches Becky in the face. And Becky actually not no sells it, but this is Lacey's finisher, the right-handed punch. You know,
the women's right.
That's right, which is a great name for a finisher. Might I add?
It is pretty good name.
So Lacey starts to leave then, and Becky and her brawl. There were some gratuitous shots of Lacey's undergarments because they were brawling because her dress was kind of exposing her. You know, it was kind of lifted up a little bit, so the camera did not do a great job at all of cutting away from that. Also, if you watch this brawl from a fan's perspective, like a dude was videoing it on his phone.
Yeah,
Lacey Evans trying to brawl with Becky with her high heels. She was like not slipping, but like the way it looked, it kind of looked like, you know how in have you ever played? I can't even come up with a good like analogy. You know, sometimes in video games where there's ice, if you start running, but then you stop moving, you still go because it's ice. You know, it's ice physics or whatever. So if you try to run the other direction, going one way, it takes a little bit, you know, to like start going the other way because you're still, you know, that's kind of what it reminded me of because Lacey was just like it was kind of slipping, you know, with these heels on. So they kind of just both stood. The security guys broke them up or whatever. They just kind of both stood. I don't know who stood tall, but after that, they hype up Dean Ambrose's last match in WWE. So I guess it's not a work against Bobby Lashley. So Alistair and Ricochet is up next versus Rude and Gable. And honestly, I thought this was a good match. You know, I thought this was I love Gable and Rude as a tag team. You know, and Ricochet and Alistair, awesome, of course. I don't know if they're actually going to stay as a tag team. What do you think?
Alistair, Ricochet. I think they are. Honestly, I think for a little bit they're going to keep them as a tag team.
Okay. What did they split them up during the shakeup? I guess that's possible.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're totally right.
Honestly, I'm not really opposed with Ricochet and Alistair staying as a tag team because they're awesome wrestlers, so they can do anything. But they just work for some reason. So, the finish of this match was Ricochet hit a code breaker on Chad Gable and pinned him. So that was
fuck you, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, well, I mean that move isn't Chris Jericho's, but he used it. But yeah, I wasn't expecting the finish to be a code breaker. You know what I mean? So after the match, though, your favorite thing, Ricochet and Alistair won, but right after the match, Ricochet's standing tall, and Bobby Roode comes from behind and attacks Ricochet. So is this like a heel turn? I guess they just kind of attacked.
So. Honestly, I think Bobby Roode would be an amazing heel. I mean, we know he's an amazing heel.
I know. Why would you call him up as a babyface and keep him as a babyface for this long? Bobby Roode, you know what I mean? Like, man, it took him long enough to turn. Well, I don't even know if this is a full-on heel turn, though, because the way he attacked him, he just kind of attacked him from behind, like hit him in the back, and then just kind of left, you know, as they just kind of stared at each other.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I guess it was kind of a heel turn. I don't know. So, that's your favorite thing, though. Right after the person wins, they immediately lose their heat because they just get attacked, right? So yeah, after that, Elias said he's going to have a performance tonight, and if anyone interrupts me tonight, there will be hell to pay.
Which, you know,
I mean, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? You know, I mean,
it could have been Kane.
Kane. Oh hell, I see. Yeah. Well, up next, Dean Ambrose came out. They hyped up Dean Ambrose's last match ever in WWE. Kind of a weird. His last match ever should have been against Drew McIntyre when Drew McIntyre stood tall on him in that Falls Count Anywhere match. But no, they wanted to give him a proper send off, I guess.
Yeah.
So they go to commercial, and here we got a really weird segment. It zooms in on this box. There's like a box in a dark black room, and there's like smoke emitting from the box. And it's just zooming in. It's like a creepy, ominous music. And out of the box pops like a puppet of a. What even was this?
I don't know. It looked like a reject from Syphil and Ollie.
Was it supposed?
I don't know if you've ever heard of this joke.
I said to Don, it looked like a rejected scene from Crank Yankers. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if anybody who listens knows what Syphil and Ollie is.
I don't know if anybody who listens is gonna know what Crank Yankers is.
Yeah, right.
Was it supposed to be a buzzard for Bray Wyatt?
I don't even know.
What the hell is up with this?
Everyone says it's Bray Wyatt, but like, is that official? Do we know that that's Bray Wyatt?
No, we don't. People are just saying they're already crowning his ass. It's quote unquote. Yeah. You know, they're already saying it's Bray.
You want to crown him? Crown his ass.
Yeah, exactly. They're already saying it's Bray, but we don't. It's not official, but it's probably Bray. Who else would it be? You know, like who else would have something like this? Really?
Velveteen Dream. No, just kidding.
They give Velveteen Dream a puppet gimmick. What if they give Bray Wyatt a puppet gimmick?
Oh my god. He's a ventriloquist now.
He's what?
He's a ventriloquist now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Don't give him any ideas.
with his manager, Jeff Dunham.
Oh, dude, I can't believe they didn't do that with the Battle Royal with the SNL dudes. Jeff Dunham and Ahmed versus Braun Strowman.
Oh, jeez. No, Ahmed versus Ali.
Oh, don't even say that. That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up.
That's too far. That's too far.
Well, Bobby Lashley came out. Dean Ambrose is in the ring. And Bobby Lashley comes out. Leo Rush is telling Dean that, you know, Bobby Lashley is pissed off or whatever, and he's going to take care of him. And Bobby takes the mic from Leo and goes, Dean, don't worry. When you're gone, I'll make sure to take care of your wife for you. Which was a damn good burn, to be honest. And then the camera cuts to Renee on commentary, and she's like, what the hell, or whatever. She's like, what is that? What the hell? So Dean Ambrose storms Lashley, who's on the apron. They go outside the ring. They're brawling. Yeah, they're brawling each other. This match actually never got underway. So technically, he didn't have his last match at WWE. So they just start brawling outside. Yeah. He hits the dirty deeds on the stage to Lashley, but then he starts to clear the announce table, seemingly to put Lashley through it. And then Lashley gets up. He hulks up, I guess. He attacks Dean Ambrose. He slams him through the table, and Bobby Lashley stands tall over Dean. Renee is checking on Dean, who's like in pain. The crowd is chanting, "Thank you, Dean Ambrose." They're chanting, "Thank you, Dean." Mm-hmm. And I guess I don't know why this doesn't seem. This to me seems like an inconclusive goodbye. You know what I mean? Like the manner of it, because just kind of I don't know. It's just kind of.
Do you think that he like they're gonna give him a little bit of time off, and he's gonna come back to screw either Rollins or Reigns at some point?
No, I think if he's going for anything, he's probably going. Like he's done. But to me, I don't know.
Well, did you see? Well, and then what was the tweet that AEW made?
Oh yeah, well that actually at first I thought it was related to people said it was related to Ambrose, but it was related to the main event because fans during the main event were chanting AEW because they hijacked that match.
Yeah.
So it was unrelated to Dean. After Raw went off the air. After Raw went off the air, Roman, Seth, and Dean were in the ring together, and they gave him a sending off to just the crowd. I guess I don't know why this couldn't have been on the show, but. They did the Shield fist bump one last time. The crowd was cheering, you know, and Dean Ambrose said goodbye. They all hugged, and that was that. After Raw went off, that was after Raw went off the air, though. So, and then in classic WWE fashion, screw surprises. They just show Sami Zayn walking backstage. So
yeah,
they robbed us of a great Sami Zayn entrance pop for a return. You know, they just show him walking backstage. I don't know why. They should have, honestly, honest to God, they should have saved his return for next week since they're actually tomorrow, I guess now. They should have saved his entrance for Raw and SmackDown tomorrow because they're in Montreal, you know? But whatever, it's whatever. So
yeah. I mean, wait, you going to that?
in Montreal?
Yeah, you going to that? You're from Canada, right?
Shut up. Okay. I bet you think you're real funny. Yeah, for some reason, there's this running joke that everybody thinks I'm from Canada. I can assure you, I am not from Canada. Up next, we got another ominous, segment. It comes back from commercial, and Mojo Rawley is yelling at himself. You know how he's been doing these mirror things, right? These mirror promos where he's yelling at himself in the mirror.
Yeah.
And Mojo was yelling at himself, but then when it actually pans over to the mirror, it's like all shattered and stuff, and he's got like blue shit on his face,
Mm-hmm.
like around his eye and shit. I don't know if this was part of the mirror or part of the his face, or I don't even know what this was. But he kind of looked like that creature from, who was the dude from Goonies? The fucked up face. Sloth. That's who it was. I couldn't think of his name forever, dude. That's who he looked like, honestly. He looked like Sloth.
I know there were a lot of memes on Twitter of that.
Yeah, he looked like Sloth because the mirror being shattered, like all distorted his face, you know? So
yeah.
I don't know what happened here, but Sami Zayn's music hits. He got a huge reaction. And you know what's funny? Sami Zayn came running out and slipped and fucking fell. He slipped and fell and like did a slide on his stomach. But since it's Sami Zayn, I thought he planned it. I didn't even think he but since it's Sami Zayn, of course, he sold it great because he's Sami Zayn. He oversells everything with his mannerisms and his stuff like that. So God bless Sami Zayn. This was hilarious. I thought it was just he tried to do it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Sami Zayn came out. They sang his theme song, you know. He says, if you miss WrestleMania, you might as well come back the night after. And he said, I could really go for a match, so who wants to face me? So Finn Balor comes out, and we come back from break. Well, actually, no. Finn Balor comes out, and then they just announced that it's a title match. So no more screw explanations. Why is there a title match for an impromptu challenge call-out match? What? What is happening? Why can't we just have explanations? You know, at least they didn't even have Finn Balor get on the mic and say, "I'm going to put my title on the line against you." They were just like, "Oh yeah, it's a title match. All right, fine, okay." So this made me believe that Sami Zayn was going to win for a second. You know, win the title.
Yeah.
So, Sami Zayn, I miss seeing him in the ring. He's of course, he had a shaved head. I think the last time he had a shaved head was when he was in NXT, to be honest. He hit the best near fall ever, which is the Blue Thunder Bomb, which he never wins with, right? But it always gets a reaction. Always gets a reaction. So, Finn Balor retained. He hit the coup de grace to retain the IC title, and Sammy got on the mic after the match, and he said the crowd was like cheering for him after the match and chanting his theme and whatever, you know. So they were really loving Sammy.
Yeah.
He said, I thought coming out here tonight would cure what ails me, but all it did was reinforce what I've realized over the past 9 months. It genuinely seems like you guys miss me. And he says, and I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart that I did not miss any single one of you or this or just anything. And he turns heel during this. So Sammy says, it turns out WWE is a super toxic environment. And not because of the McMahons or other WWE superstars. It's because of this audience and your ugliness. And says, I live a very meaningful and fulfilled life, but your life seems so empty and devoid of meaning that you only get joy and satisfaction out of being critics. And he's like, you all think of yourselves as the voices of reason. Overnight, you've become the evil overlords of WWE, and all I care about doing is doing what's right. And that's not to come back and save WWE or take it over. The right thing to do is come out here every single week and hold each and every one of you accountable because no one else will. So it feels like he was talking to us.
Yeah, right?
Maybe I hope Sami Zayn, if you're watching the show, I get what you're saying, man. I agree with you. I agree. You know, I try to be as I think I'm a fair man, you know. I try to be as fair man as I possibly can, you know. But yeah, Sami Zayn turned heel. They still cheered him, and he said on
the fortune tellers.
He said, "I will see you all in hell," and he drops the mic and leaves.
What a dude!
God bless Sami Zayn. If he's gonna be like Daniel Bryan, you know, like sees the light, you know, I really enjoy heel work like that. So, yeah, hopefully Sami Zayn actually is like taken seriously now. You know, who would have thought that Sami Zayn would be? Who would have thought that Sami Zayn would be a heel and Kevin Owens would be a babyface at the same time? You know. So
now here's the real question here for you. What if they made a tag team with Sammy and Mustafa?
Why? Because they're both.
They could do both. They could do. They could bring back the Muhammad Hassan angle and
the fucking Khadra Daivari.
Yeah, right.
Hey, they still have Arya Daivari on the roster. Do you know what Arya Daivari's theme song is called?
No, what is it called?
The name of, and I'm not making this up. And it's actually, I really love Arya Daivari's theme song from 205 Live. His theme song is legit called Magic Carpet Ride.
That's a little bit racist.
That sounds a little racist, doesn't it? So, backstage, Dana Brooke is interviewed for some reason. And she says, there's no line, but there's a line, or she said there is a line for me to challenge Becky. And she said, I can't say I'm in the front, but I'm not in the back anymore. There's an opportunity for me in the title picture. I'm going to seize that moment. I have a hard time believing she's going to, you know. She looks like, also she like got her hair colored a little bit. It's like green and purple now, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still blonde, but it's like got green and purple in it, which looked interesting. So yeah, I have a hard time believing that, you know, Dana Brooke is gonna go anywhere. But you know, I don't have a problem with Dana, so whatever. So Elias comes out. He talks shit about John Cena. He says John Cena isn't an artist. He's just insecure and fake. And he said he tried to rap, right?
Yeah.
I don't even have a transcript of the rap. I wish I did because it was actually funny. He said, I don't need my guitar. I'll just spit a few bars. And I wish I had a transcript of it because the wording was actually great. He said, his closing line was, anyone who dares interrupt me is a dead man. And like right after that, you hear the gong, you know, the classic gong.
Yeah.
And Elias's face when this gong hit was hilarious. Like he was like,
I'm actually gonna watch like the clip of that on YouTube because I want to see it.
Dude, this segment was great. You got to watch this. I mean, the John Cena one was great, but this was great too. So the gong hits, and Undertaker comes out. When I was texting, because you couldn't watch the show because you're like your cable fucked up or whatever. I don't even know.
Yeah.
So when I was texting you, I said Taker's out. Taker's coming out, and you were like, you're lying. And then I sent you pictures, and you were just like, well. So Undertaker came out. He stared down Elias. Elias took off his mic, took off his jacket, or he took off his jacket. He started to leave the ring, but then he re-entered, and then he started to leave again. You know, that old shtick where they start to leave, and then they just try to attack, and then they get caught.
Yeah.
So, Undertaker hit Elias with a big boot, He lifted him up. He hit the choke slam on him, and this was a great choke slam. Elias got some real height on his jump, which looked great. So, poor Elias. What if we're getting Elias versus Undertaker at SummerSlam?
I highly doubt that.
Can you fucking believe that if that happened?
And then imagine Elias going over.
Yeah, that'd be stupid. I mean, at least they would put over some fresh young talent, right? But if you ask me, Elias, I don't even know. If you ask me, Elias shouldn't even. They turned him face, but then they turned him heel again way too quickly. You know, Elias was very over as. I mean, he's over anyways, but he was very over as a face. He could have actually been another credible face on this show, which it desperately needs. But you know, whatever. So Undertaker.
I think the problem is it's really hard to have him have a character like that where he's supposed to be out there playing and have him be a face, you know?
Right. It's kind of hard because it's so easy to shit on the crowd like that, you know? Shit on the city and stuff. So Undertaker tombstones Elias. Undertaker's looking real old.
I mean,
God bless him. I love Undertaker. You know me. He's one of my favorites ever. But damn,
I don't want to see him wrestle anymore.
I guess this is just one of those moments, just for the sake of a moment. You know what I mean? So kind of like the Hulk Hogan thing at WrestleMania. So, you know, whatever. Who cares? Yeah. So
or when Austin Foley and Shawn Michaels came out and destroyed the New Day.
Yeah, they also destroyed the League of Nations, right?
Yeah.
Which is retarded. And that was the last appearance Wade Barrett made, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So League of Nations was actually had potential to be such a good team, you know?
Yeah. They had a killer theme song.
Isn't it just the theme song for Sheamus at the moment?
No. They had their own theme.
I can't remember it, to tell you the truth. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. I'll probably remember it when I hear it again, but at the moment, I can't remember it. But yeah, they actually had solid mid-carders, but they just turned them into jobbers for Roman, you know? So, this is the main event. This is where this show... The crowd... I mean, the show itself before this was kind of meh, you know? Not a whole lot was really interesting. I mean, it wasn't completely, void of good moments and everything, but, it was just kind of meh, you know?
Yeah.
This is... The crowd... throughout the whole show was pretty hot for everything because it's a great crowd. It was in the Barclays.
It's Raw of Germania.
Yeah, it was in the Barclays Center. It was in the same stadiums as NXT and shit. So it's the same crowd, but this is where the show fell off of a cliff. So they advertised for 3 hours. I guess I can't say 3 hours because they advertised for 2.5 hours. This main event, title for title, right? Kofi versus Seth. Winner take all titles, right? Now, I didn't want the match to begin with, you know? I thought this match was stupid to have, because really, you're going to have one of them lose the title.
Well, and they're both baby faces.
One of them lose the title the night after Mania, or you can do a DQ or no count-out finish or whatever, or no contest, but then everybody would still shit on it, so you booked yourselves into a corner, you know? So... yeah, they booked this match for some reason. The crowd was going crazy about it. Actually, you know what? Seth versus Kofi is probably a really good match. You know?
Yeah.
That sounds like a really good, entertaining match. I don't even think we've ever seen them face each other, have we?
I'm sure somewhere down the line.
Maybe. So, okay, so this is what happened. They're fighting and everything. They're wrestling. The crowd's getting into it, whatever. And then out of nowhere, I theorized they would have the match as normal, and then Brock Lesnar, Lars Sullivan, or Undisputed Era, or whoever would come out and interrupt at the very end of the show, right? So it would be a no contest at the end. So what happened? The Bar, for some reason, came out and attacked Seth and Kofi, and the crowd shit on this. This crowd went ballistic when the Bar interrupted this match. They were chanting, "This is bullshit." They were chanting for AEW legitimately. They were chanting for CM Punk. Beach balls were being thrown about. They done goofed here, did they? They done goofed. Now, Here's what I think, okay? I think they shouldn't have had the match to begin with. And furthermore, I see both sides. I'm a fair man. I see both sides. They shouldn't have had the fucking bar come out, interrupt them when there was 15 minutes left on the show, you know?
Do you think if it hadn't have been the bar and it had been a call up, then people wouldn't have chanted bullshit?
Probably not. I legit think that, you know, if it would have been somebody big, you know, maybe they would.
Like,
if it was
if it was like the bar, or I'm sorry, it was Undisputed Era, or really probably only Undisputed Era.
Yeah, there's really only one team that they could have gotten this away. Or maybe Brock. Maybe they would establish Brock versus Rollins again, right, for a rematch. But who knows? But I didn't want this match in the first place. Again, I'm a fair man. I see both sides. I argued both sides because I'm 50-50 on this. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you if this match went like the length and it actually had a finish and everything, like the crowd apparently so wanted, if Kofi had lost this title, they would have been bitching and moaning non-stop. So I don't want to hear this crowd and fans be mad about this. People, I actually read somebody compare this to 2000 WCW. Get the fuck real. It's not that big of a deal. We have seen so much worse on Raw in the past 6 months alone. This is not the worst thing Raw has done. Am I wrong in thinking that?
No, you're not.
WCW level, get real. Come on. Don't be retarded, okay? That's stupid. I read that and I actually got annoyed. I was like, are you serious? Did you ever watch 2000 WCW? Are you ridiculous? So, yeah, the bar come out. They did not do a very good job. This was horrible. This was a stupid idea having the bar come out, you know? Poor Cesaro and Sheamus out here. This ain't their fault, you know? So, yeah, they just have a nothing tag team match after 3 hours worth of advertising a title for title match. And Seth Rollins and Kofi win. That was the end of the show, of Raw, at least. And that was a very lackluster and very lame-ass end to a show that was meh. This was probably the worst Raw after Mania in years, you know? So, historically, Raw after Mania is great, but this show was not very good. So,
yeah,
SmackDown was better. SmackDown started with a celebration for Kofi Kingston and his title. Oh yeah, also they advertised right before the show it would be Usos versus the Hardy Bros for the tag team titles for SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what Hardys did to deserve that match. Again, no explanations. At least come on Twitter and have Usos like challenge them or something, you know? At least have the Hardys challenge the Usos and then accept it, right? Okay, whatever. I rant about that too much. Oh yeah, just going through my tweets to keep me in track. Do you think we're going to get that Fleshlight sponsor?
No, but actually one of the I don't know if you watch Mr. Gigi.
Mm-hmm.
He was tweeting about how they messaged him.
Yeah, I saw that. That was hilarious. Good for him, man. He's actually going to get it. So
yeah, right. I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. So I'm gonna just be muted. I'll be back. Give me like 5 minutes.
All right. Oh, you gotta take a dump.
But yeah.
All right, I'll just go over this then. That's fine.
Okay.
So, New Day are coming out to celebrate Kofi's title win at Mania. It's very happy. The ring is decked out with colors and like a balloon arch over the ring. Pancakes on every corner, like on every post, which is actually really funny. I gotta admit, I'm not a huge fan of the pancake business anymore. I think it's ran its course, but that was kind of funny having pancakes there. The crowd's chanting "You deserved," of course. Biggie does the splits again. Crowd goes crazy. And Kofi and New Day point out Kofi's family in the crowd, celebrating him with them and everything. And then the bar come back out. The bar come out. And Cesaro says something that I completely 100% agree with, potentially. Cesaro says, if it wasn't for us in the bar, Seth Rollins would have your title, Kofi. And I gotta admit, it's a good point, right? I'm not saying that Kofi would have lost, but I'm just saying if he had lost, that would have been stupid. So really, honest to God, you know, just the fact that Kofi would... I know Kofi's a babyface. Just another thing of why I think that title for title match is stupid. that I forgot to mention. I know Kofi's a babyface and everything, but the fact that Kofi did all that work to try and get a singles match for the WWE title, he had to win like 2 or 3 gauntlet matches and kept getting screwed over, and Big E and Xavier had to win a gauntlet match for him just to get a singles match at Mania for the title. He did all that work. He finally wins the title, and he's going to put it on the line the night after. I'm sorry, but he's an idiot for that. It's not Kofi's fault. They told him to do that, obviously, but they made Kofi look like an idiot there, in my opinion. Why would you put your title on the line like that, like in that manner? Like the night after you win it, after all that work. And then what if he had lost it? Then he would have been a real moron. So Barr, honestly, really did him a favor by preventing Kofi from potentially losing. So, Sheamus says, we're coming here to ruin your moment again, like we did last night. And Cesaro says, we want a 6-man tag versus you, New Day, and we got a partner lined up, and Drew McIntyre's music hits. So Drew McIntyre comes out on SmackDown, joins up with the Bar for the 6-man tag match, which is at the main event. So you know what? That's fine, whatever. So up next, Ricochet and Aleister Black and Mustafa Ali face off against Andrade Almas, Rusev, and Nakamura. So actually, I'm not really a huge fan at all of 6-person tag matches. And by the way, not even exaggerating, legitimately every single match on SmackDown was a tag team match. So take from that what you will. So I'm not a big fan of 6-man tag matches just because they're kind of overdone at this point. It just seems like, let's just throw them. It just seems kind of lazy to me anymore. Let's just throw them in a 6-man tag because we got nothing for them. But you know what? As far as that goes, I actually enjoyed this match a lot. This match was fun, because Ricochet is one of my favorites. Mustafa Ali is definitely one of my favorites. I really like Aleister Black. Andrade Almas is one of my favorites. Rusev is awesome. Nakamura is great. The dynamic just worked great for this match. I thought this match was fun. Mustafa actually got the pin. Mustafa pinned Andrade, hitting the 450 splash. He didn't hit the reverse 450, but he hit the 450 splash on Andrade and got the win. So Mustafa at least got a pin, but right after that, Randy Orton came out and RKO'd Mustafa out of nowhere. Complete out of nowhere. So Randy Orton left, and Rusev was just kind of in the ring for some reason. Just like, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of kicking Mustafa out of the ring because he's a heel, I guess. And then out of nowhere, I could hear people like in the crowd like going crazy because it's one of those where camera pans out and then you see who the surprise whatever is. So then Kevin Owens is in the ring. He stunners Rusev, and Rusev sold this like a king. Rusev sold this great. He sold the stunner like it reminded me of it didn't remind me of The Rock per se, because The Rock oversold it like a damn good guy overselling the Stone Cold Stunner, but he popped up in the air like hilariously. Rusev's great. So then Kevin Owens just left after that. He stunnered Rusev. And after that, R-Truth and Carmella are in the ring, and R-Truth says, Carmella defeated Andre the Giant in the Royal Rumble match, which was funny. Carmella was like, no, I didn't do that. And you know what? It would have been better than having those SNL jerk-offs in the ring. So, and throughout the whole night, I noticed, throughout the entire night, they kept saying congratulations to Kofi and Becky. I'm like, all right, we got it. They won. You don't have to congratulate them every single segment. It's kind of like when they had the Evolution All Women's pay-per-view where they just kept being over our heads the whole freaking time. Like, okay, we know. Like, you don't have to mention it every segment. We're excited. We're excited about it just as much as you are. You don't have to mention it every time. And kind of like with the All Women's main event, it's like, yeah, you're already kind of annoying me with it now. So,
I'm back.
Samoa Joe. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm just we're on the.
I was listening. I was listening the whole time. So.
Oh, okay. Well, Samoa Joe comes out. He destroys R-Truth. He hits the coquina clutch on him, and Samoa Joe's like, "I choked out Rey Mysterio in less than a minute, and I might do the same to anyone." And then Braun Strowman's music hits on SmackDown. So they had the theme here is with all these guys coming from Raw and SmackDown going to Raw, and vice versa, whatever. The theme is just to get you excited for the superstar shakeup, I guess.
Correct.
Just to get you, just to show that anything can happen. So this is just a setup. I guess I don't know what happens, but Braun Strowman comes out. Strowman and Joe brawl a little bit. They trade blows, and they just kind of nobody stands tall because Joe slips out of the power slam and he runs away with the U.S. title. So I guess this is supposed to be setting up Braun versus Joe. Are they already going to take the title off Joe?
I don't think so. I think this is just like
just to get excited.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Why would they? I don't know. They sure seem like they were playing this feud up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope whatever happens, they don't just have Joe take the title immediately. I mean, I guess at least Braun would finally have something. You know what? Braun should have been carrying around that.
Andre the Giant.
No, Braun should have been carrying around the Greatest Royal Rumble title belt.
Jesus.
You remember that the green belt that he won?
Yes.
He should have been carrying that around. So, yeah, that's that. Braun Strowman just roars. He leaves the ring. He goes down to the top of the entranceway, and then the iconic duo's music hits. And Peyton and Billy go for like they extend their hands for like a handshake or whatever, and Braun just looks at him like all pissed off and just walks away.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was all right. So they get in the ring. They coming back from commercial, and it's another one of those weird-ass puppet video packages or whatever. I don't know. I just hope if it's Bray Wyatt, then they don't give him a dumb puppet gimmick. What if that's Sister Abigail?
Sister Abigail. Well, no, remember Sister Abigail was like. Yeah, actually, remember when it was Finn the Demon supposed to be the Demon versus Sister Abigail?
Yeah. Oh, we would have actually got. This company is so stupid, man. We would have got Bray Wyatt seemingly dressed in drag versus orange spooky Halloween pumpkin face paint Demon Finn Balor.
I hate the pumpkin face paint.
That actually looked cool in my opinion. I thought it would have been neat to see what it looked like, like full on, but we never got to see it.
I don't know. I just thought it was like campy.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it was because it was in October, so
yeah.
It was unique. You gotta try something new every now and then. So Iconic Duo come out, and they say Iconic Duo is like everybody talks about being fighting champs, and we fight and walk. I guess what did they say? We talk and walk.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. Remember?
I can't remember what they said, but they were like, "We're going to be defending champions. We're going to be fighting and defending against everyone, anywhere, anytime." So we found the best team in Brooklyn. They have a 45-0 record, and these were women's indie wrestlers. They were just local competitors. And I'm reading right now in the summary. I'm reading their real names are. Oh wait, I misread that. I guess these were their fake names. Either way, they're local competitor jobbers, right? They're the heels digging out the competition, right? But they're just jobbers, so it's like, well, I'm defending. So it's kind of like what Sheamus did when he was world champion, when he was like, that was actually kind of unique, actually. Remember when Sheamus was heel and he was world champion, like the first time around, like 2010, where he was like, because that's when the 30-day championship defense clause was still like serious, where you had to defend your title every 30 days. So he was like, I have to defend my title every 30 days. So I'm picking I picked somebody to defend my title against right now on Raw because he didn't want to defend his title against John Cena or whoever, right? So he wanted to heal his way out of it. So Zack Ryder came out and like he squashed Zack Ryder, you know, and in like 20 seconds or whatever. So that way of getting out of it, which is actually funny. But I guess this is kind of what they're going for. I don't know. They were called the Brooklyn Bells. Carissa and Kristen versus the Iconic Duo. And honest to God, I thought it would have been hilarious if they had won the titles.
Yeah.
Off of Iconic Duo. So, of course, if you could actually believe this, Iconic Duo squashed a jobber team. I don't think if you had told me like a week ago or 2 weeks ago for that matter that the Iconic Duo would be beating jobber teams, I would have told you to shut up. So during this match, though, Paige is watching backstage, and do your Paige here, man. Do your
Paige here.
Paige here. What was up with her? What was up with that, man? Man, poor Paige. So Iconic Duo retain, of course, and Paige says after that they cut to her. She's being interviewed by Kayla Braxton. She says, it's just 1 week until the Superstar shakeup, so I wanted to get a closer look at the new tag team champions. They were very impressive, ending the undefeated streak of the legendary the Bells. That was funny, though. The legendary Brooklyn Bells. So she said, next week, I'm going to bring an impressive tag team of my own. So, the report was that it's going to be Kairi Sane and Io Shirai, the Sky Pirates, which, you know, I say that I have no hope for NXT call-ups anymore. So,
yeah,
I again, I'm not even going to get those are two of my favorites, Kairi and Io. They're legit two of my favorites. So, all I can hope for is that they don't ruin them and that they actually protect them. I'm not going to get excited about it. I mean, I'll be excited to see them on the main roster because I love them, you know. But like, other than that, I'm not hopeful, you know what I mean? Yeah. Especially with their track record with Japanese talent, right? So, up next, Shane McMahon comes out in a total filler segment, and I'm not even going to go into this very much. He just cuts a promo about how he beat Miz and Miz's father's baked potato face or whatever, and the crowd started chanting CM Punk because of the Best in the World trophy, you know. And because they did that a couple times, and the crowd's chanting CM Punk, and as he's doing it, or as they're doing it, Shane McMahon goes, "Please," which I thought was funny. So I just wish they would quit with the CM Punk chants, you know. Like they're kind of asking for it, I guess, with that. But who cares?
But didn't you know he's coming back? No,
yeah, didn't you know he's going to AEW? Didn't you know he's friends with the Young Bucks? Just shut up, idiots. So I'm
actually gonna watch AEW. Just say.
Are you gonna try though?
Because well, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna try to watch AEW.
Yeah, because you barely even watch Raw and SmackDown. You know, but at that time, SmackDown will be on Fridays by the time AEW is coming, I guess, and AEW will be on Tuesdays. So it'll be a great week of wrestling. Or you should try and watch Impact. I know you don't get that channel. It's like on the fucking It's like on the duck calling and deer hunting channel or whatever, you know. or Impact, dude. Yeah, it's called Pursuit. It's called the Pursuit channel. And when I remember, I read the stats. I read how many what the ratings were, how many viewers were for the first episode on their new channel like months ago, and it was like 10,000. So, eek. It was like really bad. Maybe it was 100K. Maybe I missed a number. But either way, it was a really bad number, you know. Which is a shame because I actually hear that Impact's really good. But yeah, all this Shane segment was just forcing Greg Hamilton to keep redoing the Best in the World intro, you know, how he did. And Greg Hamilton's a boss. Yeah. So I love Greg Hamilton. He's great. And he did a great job at WrestleMania. We should give him credit, you know. He was like the only, I don't know if Mike Rome did any announcing at that show, but Greg Hamilton did great during WrestleMania. So props to him. And He really did a good job, and I wonder when JoJo's gonna come back though. You know, I know she's pregnant, but what if they try to include JoJo in a storyline with Bray Wyatt?
Ooh.
You know what they should do? JoJo should have their baby. JoJo and Bray Wyatt should have their baby, right? And then they should have another baby. Hopefully their first baby is a boy, right? So then their next baby is a girl, and then they name it Abigail so that they can go to their son, hey, you have a sister Abigail.
And just
cricket.
And this podcast is over.
That's way too much setup for any meaningful, like, funny punchline, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't even that funny a joke. Kind of like the ping pong ball joke. No, I'm just kidding. That joke is actually funny. So, yeah, that was.
Man, how many times have I said that?
So
joke?
The Shane segment was literally just filler. So up next is the Hardys versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Big swerve, I guess. The Hardys won the tag titles against the Usos, and this match was fun too. I thought this match was good.
I don't know. I was expecting that.
Jeff and Matt are wearing like more retro-esque gear, you know, especially Matt.
Yeah.
If you see him, he's been pulling out like a lot more, like the mesh shirts, you know, for Jeff, and the solid blue colored T-shirt. Not T-shirt, but you know what I mean. And they look, they look,
yeah.
In the words of Michael Cole, they look vintage Hardy Boys. So
vintage Hardy Boys.
Yeah. So this match was fine. I thought, you know, I don't know what to think exactly of Hardy's winning the titles. Jeff Hardy pinned. I can't remember what Uso it was. They pinned one of the Usos with the Swanton Bomb and won the tag titles. This is what I didn't like. Your favorite fucking thing ever. Oh yeah, by the way, though, before I get into that, so the Impractical Jokers were in the crowd during this. And when Jeff Hardy pinned a guy to win the titles, the camera cut to Sal from Impractical Jokers, and he was going crazy. Like, Sal's reaction was hilarious. In fact, I could just send it to you, I guess, via Twitter. So, So yeah, your favorite thing though, Hardys are celebrating, right? And they're about to be interviewed by Caleb Braxton in the ring. They just won the titles, and out of nowhere, unannounced, whatever, Lars Sullivan's music hits. He comes in and destroys the Hardy Bros. So why would you take away their tag team title winning moment like this? You know?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Why? Like, it's just puzzling to me. You don't have a dude win the title and then have them get, like, destroyed immediately after and lose their heat. They won the titles, you know? There's a time and a place. So, yeah, Lars Sullivan, at least, I guess they're building him up, you know? So, Becky comes out after that. She pretty much just says the same thing as she said on Raw, you know? Now that I have 2 titles, I'm willing to defend on both shows. I got to do double duty. And I was expecting somebody else other than Lacey to come out, right? Because Lacey came out on Raw, seemingly to challenge her for the Raw title, I guess. So I was expecting somebody on SmackDown to come out differently to challenge her for the SmackDown title, since Becky herself said, I'm willing to do double duty. But no, Lacey came out. It was Lacey again. Becky went all the way up to the stage, to the top of the entranceway, and Lacey came out. Gave her the woman's right, which Becky actually sold as a finisher this time. She was on the ground, and Lacey stood tall, so there's that. Are you watching the the Sal reaction?
Yeah, give me just a second.
So, up next, it's the main event. Yeah, it's funny.
That's pretty funny.
So up next is the main event. It's New Day versus The Bar with Drew McIntyre, and before they both come out, they're getting ready to do this match. Before the match starts, Sami Zayn's music hits, and just to further prove that this show is so all over the place, they don't know what segments to do, don't know what timings. This show's so disjointed and all over the place. Like, production-wise, this show must be a mess to put together if you're working for WWE, you know? Yeah, we're gonna have people come out for a match, But then we're gonna have somebody completely unrelated come out and like do a promo or whatever. It's like, what the fuck? Why? You know, manage your time better, ass wipes. Quit with all the filler. They had a Shane McMahon filler segment. You know, so Sami Zayn comes out. He has a mic. He's about to talk, but then he goes, "Yeah, you're not worth it." And then he drops the mic and leaves. So that was filler too. So yeah, this match was fine. It was whatever. You knew New Day were gonna win. Drew McIntyre though, in the middle of this, just left. Did you? I don't. Obviously, you didn't notice this because you didn't watch, but
yeah.
Drew McIntyre was in this match. And then it cut to commercial, and he was literally gone. He wasn't out by ringside. He wasn't on the apron. He wasn't in the crowd. He wasn't thrown behind the announce table. He was literally gone. They didn't even explain it. It was just a 2-on-3 handicap match at that point with Bar versus New Day. So the story was people thought Drew McIntyre was potentially injured and he like went to the back, right? So, and I thought, that's not good. But then I read people in the crowd said, because it was during commercial that Drew left. So people in the crowd had said Drew just got up, threw his hands up in the air like he was annoyed, and just walked to the back. So I guess what they were trying to go for was Drew was fed up with the Bar, so he just said, "Fuck you, I'm leaving," right? So
they never made that clear on TV.
Yeah, they never made that clear on TV. So if that was the plan, they did it during commercial. And I guess the story was they didn't want Drew being like affiliated with this loss because Bar were going to lose they were going to lose, right? They didn't want Drew being affiliated with this loss. So why did you put him in the match? You know?
Yeah, right.
I guess they didn't have anybody better. I don't know. But yeah, Drew was nowhere to be seen. New Day won this match. It was a 2-on-3 handicap match. Advantage babyfaces. So it was a Lucha House Party's match. Lucha House Party rules. Lucha House rules, I should say. So yeah, Kofi Kingston into Trouble in Paradise on your Emily's favorite, Sheamus. Poor Emily, just been really crying. Rest in peace. So,
man, Sheamus taking all the falls.
I know. So same as like Bayley, you know, she takes the fall in that title match, then she gets squashed by Alexa. So yeah, Kofi Kingston gets the win. That's SmackDown. It was better than Raw, I'd say, but it was another kind of meh show. All matches were tag team matches. There was not one singles match on this show. So
which is kind of weird.
I felt like I was watching the fucking New Japan Tag League, you know, where all matches are tag matches and they just throw. Yeah, that's what I felt like. But yeah, it was, you know, SmackDown was with all the matches being tag matches. SmackDown was still probably better in my eyes. Raw just kind of felt like a drag, you know. And so yeah, that's SmackDown. Is there any other news we forgot to talk about?
Did we talk about the injuries?
We talked about some of the injuries. We talked about Nia. We talked about Dawn put in the chat when I didn't notice tag match playa. And for that,
it was
for that playa, you're gonna go 1-on-1 with the Undertaker. That would have
and Randy Orton.
Yeah. So we talked about Nia being injured. We talked about Big E's injury that he sustained after SmackDown. I still don't know how he did it. We talked about Daniel Bryan's injury. Who else was injured? Wasn't somebody else injured?
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, yeah, that's right. AJ's injured. Lots of injuries, man. I hope everybody's all right and hope they heal fast. And it's kind of funny. AJ won his match at Mania, but Randy was the one to show up and do stuff. So I know it's because he's injured, but still. I don't know what happens from this point. Do you think? Do you have any predictions for who's gonna go to either show in this shakeup?
Usos is Raw, although everybody's saying that.
Yeah, because they lost the tag titles.
I'm gonna say. I think you're gonna see Alexa Bliss go to SmackDown.
Really?
Yeah. I'm feeling Alexa's going back to SmackDown. I could see Charlotte going to Raw.
The bar.
The bar.
Yeah.
Emily's asking, is the bar going to go to Raw?
I don't know.
They just went to SmackDown though.
In the last shakeup, they went to SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the draft.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the idea.
I could see Lashley going to SmackDown.
Yeah, that's true. I like the thought though of the draft and them fighting to try and get new people to come on the show, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like obviously it's predetermined and it's not random like they portray it as with the draft, with the random flying by, but it's still like random as a work, you know what I mean? It's like,
well, that, and also it's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting seeing all the faces flash by and like that little the noise.
Like and then the moment that like someone gets picked, it's like, oh man, that's cool,
exactly. Or when you're disappointed, it's like, oh, okay.
when it's Big Show,
like, Mr. He got drafted to Raw in like 2008 or whatever, and it meant nothing because he got fired because he almost concussed Randy Orton.
Yeah, right. No, I just thought that was funny because, like, the draft was always my favorite part of the year, and I always hated how, like, there was no like real draft mode in like a WWE game that you could like kind of recreate that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I like the thought of randomness being played and like it being exciting, and I mean the Superstar Shakeup is still exciting in the sense because it's like it's new, it's fresh, it's refreshing, but like. I don't know. It's just not as exciting when they just show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
What I'm saying is it just doesn't have any presentation. That's all. It's not that big a deal, but it's just a nitpick. So I don't know.
That'd be one thing I'd bring back if I was in charge.
It'd be that would be the one thing you bring back.
I think so.
Do you think Roman goes to SmackDown?
Not a chance.
Well, SmackDown's going to Fox. They might be possibly pushing that show as the top show, right?
No.
On Fox, making a shit ton of money, like a shit ton of money. Like, damn, it really just set in how much money they're making with them going to Fox. I don't know what happens.
Do you think? All right, so I know you're kind of playing devil's advocate when you're doing that, but like, do you actually honestly think that they'd put Roman on SmackDown?
I think there's an off chance that it could happen. I don't know. I think it's 50-50 because I could see them doing it because Fox is a big network and I think they want to try and build up SmackDown as huge for Fox. Although they didn't do a great job at that at all when SmackDown went 6-1 at Survivor Series when they buried SmackDown, which was fucking retarded. I still haven't gotten over that, by the way. I'm still triggered.
All right. So, any final thoughts?
On
WrestleMania, or
lots of wrestling. I'm excited for tomorrow, the Superstar Shakeup. With all that being said about the draft and everything.
So okay. So give me 3 names that you think are gonna be switching.
Okay. Well, Usos for sure, but I kind of want to say more than that because. I'm going to give other predictions. That's 2. Mm-hmm. I think.
What about the Revival?
I think Revival should go to SmackDown. Absolutely. Revival absolutely should. Now that they don't have the Raw titles anymore, they should go to SmackDown and be saved. Hopefully be used. Because as much as I said that they actually cared about wrestling and tag team wrestling on SmackDown, they still did not use a lot of those teams. Sanity were not used. The Club were not used. They pushed Shane and Miz as a tag team. Rusev and Nakamura as a random thrown together tag team. I mean, I know they weren't doing anything, but even still, I think overall, where do I
think Nakamura goes to Raw.
I think that Alistair and Ricochet get split up, and I don't think they stay together. I think they could, but I don't see it being a long-term deal. I don't know. I have a gut feeling that they could swerve us and put Roman on SmackDown.
Okay.
It would be a big move, you know. It would get people. It would get eyes, I suppose, even though nothing gets them eyes anymore. You know, kind of like the SNL thing. Did they really think people were gonna watch because of that?
No.
Like SNL people are like, well, who cares? People who are fans of that are like, okay, okay.
People who are fans of SNL and the people who are fans of wrestling is a very small. Like
people who were fans of
people who like SNL are not going to watch for you know, they're not going to watch for Colin Jost and Michael Che. People who like wrestling are just going to be annoyed by Colin Jost and Michael
people
Che.
who were WWE fans did not want to see that match. They actually wanted to do the opposite. But like, that's one of those matches where it's literally just for the headlines, you know, like on, you know, the New York Times, it's like all like a headline or whatever, like Braun Strowman takes it to SNL stars or whatever, and it's like they keep showing, like you know, they show those headlines whatever during Raw and SmackDown, like whatever. So, do you think Braun goes to SmackDown or Joe goes to Raw? And do you think Finn Balor goes to SmackDown with the IC title and they swap titles?
I would say no, only because I feel like that Vince really likes Finn on Raw. Like if somebody else were to be holding that title, I think maybe, but
possibly, yeah.
Unless he feels like Finn is going to be the guy on SmackDown rather than Roman. I don't think Finn and Roman go together. I think it's like one or the other.
Well, I mean, the IC title.
Because I still think that Vince has a very high opinion of Finn Balor.
Excuse me. I choked on my water. Sorry. I had a thought. Who challenges Kofi? It ain't gonna be Daniel Bryan because he's injured apparently. So
yeah,
they shake up happening. Heels from Raw, maybe. Sammy possibly. They are not going to put the world title on Sammy though, in my opinion.
Yeah, no. I mean, I understand that. I mean, you got to have Kofi. I don't think you're going to have Kofi drop the title. I think Kofi's going to win that feud.
Oh yeah, so you're just saying who he's going to go up against?
Yeah, I think he's going to go up against Sammy, and then he'll beat Sammy in a program, and then maybe you move on. Maybe Joe drops the title and Joe moves up. You know. Or
I think people are kind of soured on Joe in the title picture again, you know, because he just kept losing and losing and losing.
Or Lashley.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a very, very open.
Or McIntyre.
Or McIntyre, correct. I think honest to God, I think whoever beats Kofi for the title, they have to be very careful about. You know? Yeah. Because Kofi's the biggest star in the company at the moment, and they need to. And they better make damn well sure that whoever beats him for the title is like the right guy, you know. And I don't think that's a Big E or Xavier heel turn at all. I think that's retarded. No. I think that's a terrible idea. Like people keep actually thinking that's a good idea. Can you believe that?
No, that's not a good idea at all.
All the fantasy booking, like Big E should turn heel. It's like, well, first of all, why Big E? You know.
Well, because he's the big guy. He's the biggest one.
I was saying before that it should have been Big E in this position. But Kofi works better. I mean, Kofi works better, it turns out, you know, for the story and everything. And I'm glad that it was Kofi after all this. Originally, I thought it should have been Big E just because I like Big E a lot. Oh, do you think this plays into who wins Money in the Bank? Because it's in May? Because Money in the Bank is not in June.
Actually.
Yeah, Money in the Bank is not in June anymore. They swapped Backlash and Money in the Bank. So, yeah.
What if Xavier wins Money in the Bank?
What if Xavier wins Money?
Xavier wins Money in the Bank, and then
you're cutting out a lot, bro.
All right, sorry. Now can you hear me?
Yeah, but you're a robot.
Sorry.
It's pretty bad. You're like one of the robotic interviewers backstage. I'm just kidding.
Hold on.
Okay. Well, anyways, as I was saying, I don't know who wins Money in the Bank. Honestly, see, a lot of people's philosophies are like Don's thinking about it, and I kind of agree with it. Is that like heels should win Money in the Bank? You know, like you can get away with a face Money in the Bank, of course, because they've done that many times. But hello.
Okay, am I better?
Oh yeah, you're way better.
Okay, I was gonna say, what if Xavier wins Money in the Bank?
Yeah, I don't like that. You know, like that'd be dumb. You know. And I don't think they should break up New Day anytime soon because this is the hottest they've been in a long time. You know,
I don't think that they honestly. I'm of the opinion that they should never break up New Day.
You're in the opinion that what?
They should never break up New Day.
Yeah, never.
Never.
I was starting to get stale of them, but then they did this story. You know. And I was like, well, sweet. You know, they actually, you know.
It was time for them to do that too. Like,
yeah.
Like it was time for them to actually like move them because I mean they've been an amazing act for so long that like it was just like time for one of them to become a single star.
You're robotic again, but I can still make out what you're saying. Just think like. This wouldn't have happened if a lot of things had to happen for this to go down, right? Like Vince changed his mind about AJ versus Brock 2 at Survivor Series and put the title on Daniel Bryan, right? So then, like, Daniel Bryan has a great reign and beats AJ. I mean, I say great reign. It was a great reign. It's just it turns out that the AJ match was kind of underwhelming, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But that, again, was a result of a fucking long-ass show with the Royal Rumble, you know? Like, these long shows, which never helps anybody. They should have come flying out of the gate and have a banger of a match, but there was just kind of slower paced, you know? I think that's also due to the fact that AJ kind of works a lighter style now because of his age, and he's been doing it forever. And he's still great, though, you know? He's not like Taker level, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know who wins Money in the Bank now. I don't know if that plays into Kofi dropping the title. I think honestly, if you're gonna have Kofi lose the title, it probably should be to a cash-in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Kofi should have a great reign, defend his title a lot, and then after like a lot of months, maybe he loses the title via a cash-in. So it's like a blindside or like a heel, right?
Well, yeah. Well, that and like think of all the heat you get on the heel by having them beat Kofi.
Exactly. Yeah, it would be a big shock. So
it'll be like what they did with I was thinking Andrade. Because I'm thinking like of people like I'm not thinking of like big heels like Joe or Lars, people who can believably beat Kofi one-on-one. I'm thinking of like guys that like. You would be like, oh, that fucker, I can't believe he cashed in like that, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like Andrade is one of them, Elias. Although I don't see them wanting to put the title on Elias.
Yeah, exactly.
If
they're going to have Elias win the Money in the Bank, he's not winning the cash-in, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who else? Who else would probably make a good sneaky cash-in like that? Adam Cole, but I mean, obviously, like...
Yeah, hey, listen, if Paige is bringing up NXT stars during this shakeup, right, for her tag team, they could easily bring NXT guys up during... That's why you didn't see, like, many NXT call-ups at all. In fact, you didn't see any NXT call-ups during this. All you saw was the announced ones. Lars Sullivan was a surprise, but he was already technically called up. It's just that, you know, because of his incident that he didn't... come up. But yeah, do you think Undisputed ever get called up since Adam Cole lost to Johnny Cena at TakeOver?
Well, I mean, I guess I could find out. I could look at the NXT spoilers, but
no.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say anything to you about it.
You have though before.
That was once.
You've spoiled me on a couple things.
Oh my god. It is like raining so freaking hard outside. I didn't even look at it.
Storming here earlier, dude.
Holy crap.
Adam Cole, maybe? Do they, I'm so afraid that they'll ruin Undisputed Era. Because, like, they're actually cool.
Well, what about maybe, I know this is, this is unbelievable at this point. Eric Young.
Yeah, they ain't gonna put it on Eric Young. Sanity should be serious. How many serious teams and people have they taken and just ruined? I think the nail in the coffin for Sanity was when they lost that 3-on-1 fucking handicap match against Miz.
Yeah. Yep.
How the hell do you lose a 3-on-1? I love Miz, but I'm just saying, Miz is not a world beater. You know, I don't care what feud he's in with Shane. You should not be losing 3-on-1 against Miz. And you know, a lot of people said that. I'm surprised that a lot of people said that. You know, I was expecting just people to be like, "Oh yeah, Miz is great," but a lot of people were like, "Okay, I can't suspend my disbelief."
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Well, I think I got to get going. I had work in the morning, but it was another successful episode.
Yeah, so, it wasn't that long. It was just
it wasn't
3 hours. You know.
Yeah.
It was
not terrible.
Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't start it around this time like we normally do. You know.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, I gotta ask you.
Right.
Before we go. Is your TV all fixed and everything, or?
It is not. It's not, but I will definitely keep up with what's going on SmackDown and Raw.
You should try and get a free trial for like YouTube TV or something like that. Just to watch it.
Yeah, that or like Sling TV or something like that.
Fubo. Well, Fubo is sports, isn't it? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
No, I thought. What about Fubu? I could go wear some Fubu.
Yeah. Yeah. Some Olos.
Yeah.
Well.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. This is our WrestleMania Raw. Hopefully, Raw and SmackDown are great and surprising and fun.
And with some call-ups.
Hopefully, they don't botch them. But again, there's no hope.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.